Grace and peace, everybody. We are back. And y'all knew what we were going to do. Y'all saw the thumbnail. You saw the title. You know what's about to happen. Let's just tell the truth. Well, first of all, before I jump in, shout out to the best live channel on the internet. Thank you for everybody who's jumped up in here. And by the way, just in case you were wondering, somebody asked me, Jason, you're not wearing your Assassin's maroon. And that's a very true observation. Well, I realized when I got my Assassin's paycheck last week, I had a lot of PTO time. So I'm actually on vacation. So that's why you don't see me rocking the maroon, because I'm really technically not working. But, you know, if anything rolls up now, I'm about that life. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm not wearing my maroon. So don't get it twisted. I still, I'm still a maroon assassin. Matter of fact, I got my college flag right here. I was going to put it up behind me until further notice. So yes, I am still a maroon wearing assassin, but I'm on PTO. So, shout out to the best live chat on the internet. Thank you everybody who's jumped in. Let's just go ahead and tell the truth, shame the devil. Let's get into this thing and let's talk about it. Candace Owens is about to get her feelings hurt today. She is in rare form. Let me pull in this tweet that she put out on Twitter, and most of y'all probably have already seen this as well. So this is not anything new. Shout out to everybody who's jumped in. Candice, Cantifa, you know that you all are welcome up here to the front of the church. So come on, get up here. Get on up here close to the front of the church. Let's go. Shout out. The ushers told me that most of y'all found y'all seats yesterday. Shout out to y'all. Candace said this. I'm telling you right now, boy, if the mockery that happened up to today made Candace upset, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. The mockery that is about to happen moving forward is going to be of legend. They will write history books about how much I mock Candace Owens. This is just going to be fun. Listen to this. Today on the show, I'm in a bad mood. Y'all know I almost did it. Y'all know I almost did it. Who cares, Brenda? Nobody cares if you're in a bad mood. You're in a bad mood because you choose to put yourself in a position where you are in a bad mood. I choose not to put myself in a bad mood. Chief Executive Second Born was late getting out of school, and she needed me to pick her up, and I could have been in a bad mood. I could have been angry when she got out in the car. I could have been mad at her. But I said, you know what? Okay, it just happens. I moved the start time back, and guess what? Everything is sunshine and rainbows. She's happy. I'm happy. Y'all happy. We're about to make fun of Candace. Everybody's happy. Candace, you put yourself in this position. Because truth be told, I think what's going to happen, and y'all, I'm putting on my conspiracy hat. The house of cards that Candace has been constructing for the last 3 months is about to fall. The house of cards, because she's been telling us stories, and the only way we know these things is through her. Now we're about to hear the other side of the story. And when Erica Kurt says something like, I got his cell phone, do you think she might even have his email? What do you think about access to his DMs and stuff like that? Candace is mad. She's in a bad mood, not because of what she's about to say, because people are calling her out and people are realizing, ma'am, you're full of crap. That's just all we can say. That's the best way we can say it on this here internet. What did she say? Barry Weiss refers to me as a liar, and Erica Kurt does not rebut because she knows you are a liar. So Candace is putting this narrative out that she's trying to make it sound like she and Erica are on the same page or on the same team and such of that nature. And so therefore, because of that, Erica should, quote unquote, be defending me. That would make sense under normal circumstances. But I think the more and more that this house of cards falls down, we're going to realize just how much she was lying. And I've been saying this for a long time. I don't believe her and Charlie Kirk were friends, even remotely, like she projected it out there. I don't think they were friends like that. They may have been at one time, and Charlie Kirk may have kept her close because he didn't want her going off on him and being like she is now. That's too much light, Jason. Turn that off. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. That's what it looked like. Turn that off, man. Anyway, let us continue. Let's go. Tyler Robinson appears in court. Isn't this interesting? The first thing she says is, I'm in a bad mood. The next thing she says is, Erica Kirk didn't defend me when somebody called me a liar. So that would, of course, make sense why she's in a bad mood, right? If just being logical. Why is the second sentence there then? Tyler Robinson appears in court. Why are you upset about that? Why are you mad about Tyler Robinson appearing in court? Isn't that what you want? Justice for Charlie? Okay, continue. The push to turn critical thinking into a pathology continues from the faith community. This is such an interesting argument. This is the same woman who believes in a flat earth. This is the same woman that believes that the moon landing was fake. Same woman that doesn't believe in dinosaurs. I think she said gay frogs too. But the faith community, she put it in quotation marks. I can't wait. I'm here for your feelings today, Candace Owens. I don't even care. I don't even care. There will be no cares given. I want people to hurt your feelings today, because that's what I think is going to end up happening. I think that's what's going to end up happening. She is going to get, she's getting drugged on Twitter. The base, the people that generally support her, that rock with her, they go along with her narratives, are not doing that. There's a lot of people pushing back. I'm pretty sure that her comment section today is going to be pretty ridiculous. And that's why we're over here in the best live channel on the internet. But this is going to be something of note. So I want to see, yesterday I let y'all down. I let y'all down yesterday. I told you I was going to predict what was going to happen this weekend into Monday, and I apologize. I didn't do that. So let me make that right. Little tidbits are dropping about this interview that Erica Kirk did with Barry Weiss that's supposed to drop on Saturday. So yesterday, Candace started talking about it. Today, we see clearly this is Thursday. She's going to talk about it, and more. I'm pretty sure she's going to talk about it tomorrow if she does the show. So what I think is going to happen is she's going to keep building up about what she's heard about this episode. And then the episode is going to drop, and one of two things is going to happen. A, it's not going to be exactly like she said. So all of this buildup is going to look crazy. Or B, it's going to be exactly like she said, but the context is going to be way better than what she anticipated. And she's just going to spend her whole weekend getting amped up. So that'll be Saturday into Sunday. But then you all know what Monday is. Monday, TPUSA, I want to say it's at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, is supposed to be addressing Candace Owens. And that's going to be yet another opportunity for the House of Cards to come crashing down. Y'all, this is going to be a great weekend. This is going to be a great weekend. And you know who else is going to be a great weekend for? It's going to be a great weekend for Esther 4092, because she's a brand new member. What's going on? Thank you so much and welcome to the best live chat in the most electrifying comment section. There we go. What does Confession of Cookie Addict say with the $5 super sticker? No question, no comment, just pure love of the game. Thank you. Thank you so much. And then MT, y'all know MT be getting in trouble. MT said this: they waited too long, like her systemic yeast infection. She has spread. Also, now we know why else Charlie wasn't attracted to her. Can you say ill? Okay, I've seen that on Twitter, and I did not want to dive into that. If that's what it's about, oh my gosh. Okay, I saw that on Twitter. I just thought it was team doing the most. Okay. We're going to go ahead and move on from that one. We're going to go ahead and move on. We're going to go to Slayer Princess with the 2. Guys, let's be praying over this live stream on the 15th. Absolutely. Matter of fact, shout out to April Chapman. Oh, by the way, let's talk about that real quick. Do y'all know April Chapman? In the chat real quick, just type April if y'all know April. Okay. Just type April in the chat if y'all know who April is. I just want to make sure I know who all I'm talking to, who my audience is. All right, everybody. All right, lots of people know who April is. All right. Okay. I love this live chat because y'all are so, where is she put a post about praying for AmFest coming up, and I don't know where it went. Oh, crackers. Where did it go? Maybe it's on her YouTube. Okay, y'all know who April is. Okay. Y'all, A lot of you all keep telling me like, hey, there's this great content creator. Her name is April Chapman. You should check her out, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if y'all know this, but April Chapman and I talk just about every other day. She's a very good friend of mine. She lives here in Atlanta. We talk on a regular basis. I know her husband and her children. She knows my family. I know her. Every time one of y'all put that, I send her a text message or I'll screenshot it like, oh, I guess people don't know we know each other. Like, I know who April is. April's been on my channel, for crying out loud. So you don't have to tell me about April. I know about her. I know about her. But I appreciate y'all wanting to connect good content creators. So I love it. So I take it as a compliment. But I just want to let y'all know, like, we talk on a regular basis. Matter of fact, she was on the show a couple weeks ago. And so I just want to make sure we laughed about that because I just thought it was hilarious. Every time y'all do that, I'm like, April, can you tell your people that you know me? That would be great. Okay, here it is. Okay, I found it. It was on her YouTube channel that I saw it. Let's do it like this, Jason. All right. So, family, and this is on April's Unshakable with April Chapman. Family, I'm participating in a day of prayer and fasting for my friends at Turning Point USA and Erica Kirk this Monday, December 15th. When the warfare gets loud, it's because enemy knows God is moving. But scripture tells us, put on the full armor of God, and that's Ephesians 6:11. On December 15th, I'm asking you to join me in fasting and praying and standing firm for those in the front lines of the cultural battle. Let's seek the Lord together. Let's cover them in prayer, and let's stand unshakable. Drop a sword or shield in the emoji if you feel led, and join me in grace and peace. All right, so let me get the little shield emoji right here. All right, let me get the little sword emoji. I think I can. All right, here we go. All right. So there we go. All right. Bang. Got something there. All right. So somebody asked yesterday, what can we do? There we go. On the 15th, we're going to be praying for what's going on at TPUSA. And again, they're going to be starting. AmFest starts. Am I mistaken? Does AmFest start Thursday? Or it definitely, yeah, I think it starts next Thursday. So a week from today. There we go. So we got a lot to pray about. So there we go. We'll be praying on Monday. I'll put a reminder out. Maybe we'll do a little prayer before the live stream, TPUSA's live stream, and such of that nature. I'll iron out a little bit. Maybe we'll have April stop through or something like that. Okay, real quick. Doing a quick quality control. All right. Gotcha there. Oh, by the way, thank y'all so much, man. I just heard from Raquel, Leah, and she said, man, she was so encouraged by you all stopping by, checking out the live stream that we did yesterday and engaging with her and such of that nature. She's really been encouraged by that. So shout out to y'all for doing that, because I know you don't have to. And the fact that you did means a lot to her. So thank y'all so much. Okay. Oh, gosh. Okay. I'm reading a note. All right, let's make sure we got this queued up and ready to cause chaos. Okay, she's supposed to be going hot in 8 minutes. So in the meantime and in between time, thank y'all so much to the best and most electrifying live chat on the planet. What do we have here? We got brand new members. We got another brand new member popping up in here. Who is that? Oh, no, I don't. I'm sorry. Okay, let me see. No, right here. There we go, Jason. I did see it. Thank you, Heather. Welcome. Became a brand new member as well. Heather Rose, 2023. Thank you so much. What do we have here? MT says this with the $2. Yuck. Called her Candia Owens. Y'all are wild. See, that's how you end up getting put in 0-second timeout. For the love of Jesus with the $2. Candace will be... Candacing will become a verb soon. How would you use it though? Like just talking about somebody who's failing in their roles and duties. I can probably get with that. I can see that. Candassing. Being a fake journalist. I'm candassing. pretending like I'm a police officer. I'm Candace. I got you. I'm picking up what you're throwing down. I like that. Nick Fuentes said, if TPA doesn't expose Candace, well, he will. Okay. Thank you for the $2 super. I'm a little bit conflicted about Nick Fuentes, and I've put videos up about Nick. And look, I think Nick does a great job of what he does. When he's on point, I think he's really good. When he's off, he is off like a cough. I'm only worried, is Nick Fuentes being used as an agitator to cause infighting? And well, let me ask a question. What is the end goal of exposing Candace Owens? All of her dirty laundry. What's the end goal of it? Just for her to lose influence, or her to lose? I don't know what the end goal result is sought to be. And I bring that up because I think we might need to tread lightly, because some of that sometimes tends to be, I think the infighting part, that dissension part between people, I do think we can put ourselves in the same trick bag that they're putting themselves in. I'll give an example here. I will never ask my audience to go do something that I think might turn out to look bad upon my audience. So I won't say go do something on somebody else's channel that's bad. Now, I will say go over to somebody's channel and like their video, leave them a green heart, all that kind of good jazz like that, because I think that looks good on you all, and it looks good for the platform, my channel, as well as the other channel that you're going to. Because in a moment, I'm going to tell you about a YouTuber. I want y'all to go check out her channel and help drive up her views. I don't think she has enough watch time. Matter of fact, let me pull it up right now. So that's it. But there are other instances where I don't think it's the best thing to do. And I don't know. I'm not 100% certain I fully understand Nick Fuentes' mission. I don't understand what he's trying to do. And therefore, it's hard for me to get rally behind it. Again, there's some times when he's really on point. I mean, he is laser focused. He's on point. And there's other times I'm like, what are you doing? What's going on here? So I totally get it. And let me tell you this, though. With all I said, I'm sure he's going to probably excoriate Candace. I'm sure. He's probably going to have receipts. He's going to probably have emails and text messages and pictures and videos. And it's going to be bad look for sure. MC said this with the 5. She sued her landlord. Oh, yeah. For an apartment, gave her systemic infections to avoid paying rent. No, I'm not joking. Okay, if that's what you're talking about, I actually did a video about that whole thing, because a lot of people don't know that Candace was in debt pretty bad when she met George Farmer. She was like in debt, to the tune of maybe almost $20,000 if there was any school debt as well. So her story is pretty wild. If that's what y'all talking about, then yes, I know what you're talking about. I thought it was something greater than that. All right, Cindy says this. Candy's inflicting pathological trauma on Erica and TPUSA team. She needs to be held responsible for all the turmoil she is causing. I agree with that. I just think that God in his infinite wisdom, I think, is going to give Candace exactly, unequivocally what she needs. I mean, he's going to give her that work. And I don't think we need to really stress it as much as we need as we're presenting it. Okay, real quick. Tim Poole said, Candace's people. Yes, I want Tim, but the only thing is I need Tim to show receipts on that. Now, I know what Tim is doing. I want Tim, I want our side to hold ourselves to the standard of, we're not going to allow us to just do that. Like when I was telling the story about Candace came and sold me some bootleg Girl Scout cookies. I showed y'all a picture. Well, we all know that I was being ridiculous, but I want Tim, look, I don't doubt it at all. I just want Tim to show proof and evidence, because we don't want to be like them. Okay. Angela King tried to come for our girl April. Yeah, Angela King. Yeah, whatever. She's a whatever. She's a non-issue. Real quick, content creator I would love for y'all to go check out. By the way, the mods don't know yet. This young lady right here, her name is Ida Lowe. I've checked out some of her videos. She's been in the live chat before. Can y'all do me a favor and go check out a couple of her videos? I don't know, and I haven't heard from her yet. I reached out to her, asked her to, shoot me an email. Check out a couple of her videos and see if we can help drive her up, because you don't know this if you're not a content creator, but content creators have to hit a certain number of watch hours of time that people have watched their content. And I don't know if she's hit this number yet because I couldn't send her a super chat. And I was like, well, maybe she hasn't hit the number yet because I know she has the subscribers, I think. No, she doesn't have enough subscribers. That's the problem, Jason. She needs 1,000 subscribers. What are you talking about, dude? That's the problem. All right. So we got to help her out. If you could, please go check her out. She makes some really great, fun videos. I think it would be great for us to not only go over and give her some watches, all that kind of good stuff like that, but go ahead and give her that subscribe as well. I think she'll earn it. I'm going to put my name on it and say that she's going to earn your subscription. So if you could go do it, I think that would be great for her to see her get above that 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours that content creators need to be considered on the YouTube platform. And that would be help. I think that would be super dope. So this is an opportunity to go do something good. So run over there. Let me check Candace real quick. Candace has not even started yet. Let me drop the link for Ida Lowe's channel in the chat. Y'all run over there real quick. At least subscribe and then come back later on and watch about 10, 20 of her videos and make sure she hits that watch time. And that'll be great. Now we're done with that. And now a word from our sponsor. I'm just checking through. By the way, thank you so much. Man, Curtis. Shout out to Curtis, man, with the $50 super says, what are we going to hear today? Maybe she'll confess to having a deed done to Charlie. Now, I think there's going to be a lot of deflecting. If you look at her Twitter, darn, I already closed it out. If you look at her Twitter, it's going to be a lot of everybody's picking on me. People don't like what I'm doing. It's going to be a lot of me, which is super grimy that she has turned all of this into some kind of examination of Candace Owens. That is crazy work. That is some crazy work. But I don't think we're going to see anything that's going to be substantive. And let me just add the last point to this, and hopefully this will point it out. 2 weeks ago, Candace Owens was met with shocking information that a international global hit team was out after her. And dare I even say 2 days ago, she found out that one of the assassins allegedly lives in her hometown. And all she's been able to talk about since then is Egyptian planes, some wild Mission Impossible Tom Clancy story about some guy finding a drug tunnel and all that. Erica Kurt, Blake Neff's cousin, Captain Neff, but nothing about this international hit team with, somebody from Angola and somebody from France, and they got bagels and they got hummus and they got couscous, all that. Nothing, not a thing, not a police report. Matter of fact, we know more about the the incident report for that guy on the naval base or the army base, whatever that was, than we know about her own incident where somebody allegedly put a $1.5 million hit on her. This woman is not serious. She's not serious in the least bit. My name is Jason. I'm just going to say that. She's not serious. This is a joke. This is a joke. So, matter of fact, thank you so much, Curtis. You are the stream sponsor. Always blessing us. Thank you so much, man. Very supportive of what we're doing over here, and I appreciate you, brother. The fact that her lawyers to this moment still have not said anything about that international hit. That should tell you everything you need. You don't need anything else. You think you need more, but you don't. You don't need anything else. That woman still has not said once, giving you one shred of evidence to prove that there was an international hit on her life. I'm just saying. I mean, I know y'all might not like that. I know the Cantifa people, y'all up here in the front of the church, y'all looking at me mean. I understand. Come on up here and get a hug if you need it. But you're going to get over it. If her life was really in danger, the first thing you talk about is Charlie Kirk's wife. The most important thing you talk about is some international Tom Clancy, Mission Impossible, Fast and Furious story. You don't put it out there. By the way, everybody, here's the information I have about these killers that are trying to delete me. Here's the incident report. Call the police. Reach out. But you text it to the secretary of in the FBI. This woman's not serious. She's not serious, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And you know I'm right because even her audience has stopped talking about it. Even her fans, even the Candaspiracy, the Cantifa, they don't mention it that often. And they don't mention it much. That's how you know that it's not true. It's not true. Because Cantifa don't even mention it. If Cantifa thought it was real, they would be on it like white on rice. But she busy picking fights with Tim Pool. What about your own hit? Tim Pool had somebody pew pew at his house. You said they got a 1.2 million on 1.5 million on your head. Where's that? Why don't we see that? Where's that at, Candace? She's not serious, y'all. So please stop getting falling for okie doke. Thank y'all, everybody who's jumped in. We got 906 people have already jumped into the most electrifying live chat on the planet. There's like 33 people in Twitter. Did you know that? I stream also to Twitter. Shout out to all of y'all. Thank you so much, man. And again, I'm going to get you in there, Curtis. Thank you for being the stream sponsor, always blessing us. M. Saunders says this with the 10. So I just want to say, keep pushing back because the amount of smaller people pushing back is bigger than the one pinpointed audience. What I mean by that is subscribers and views my algorithm is showing. Well, bless you, man. Thank you so much. Hey, I like doing this, and given the fact that y'all come and tap in, that's all I need. I just need y'all to come tap in. I'm good. I'm glad about it. My editor just sent me something again. Okay, got it. I'm getting homework assignments while I'm sitting here. All right. Amy says this with the 10. Do you think Candace is violating YouTube's Yes, she's been doing that. Community, here we go, right here. Let's go. I'm going to come back to that.
Okay, I will be very honest. I am in a bit of a mood today. I am just annoyed
Sorry
with
about the
everybody.
audio.
I'm annoyed with this entire psychological operation that is so obvious, and I just feel like we keep going round and round
Who cares?
in a circle with the government. You know, whether it's COVID, the Ukraine war, it's like the entire media apparatus and establishment is joining hands to condemn people for having common sense. So I'll ask you a question to begin this. Do you feel, show of hands, okay, that the answer regarding who killed Charlie Kirk and what happened on September 10th is quote unquote very clear? Objectively. Like, even if you are somebody who is on the side of those who do believe that Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger one way or another, would you ever describe what happened as quote unquote very clear? I'm guessing your answer to that would be no. I am asking you that because Erica Kirk believes it to be so. And I guess this is kind of the final stop. I'm hoping it's the final stop of this PR campaign where they are now pivoting and bringing Erica out to signal to the public that we can't question her judgment, right? Because she's a widow, we can't question her judgment. And I want to say that I reject that. I reject emotional manipulation. I want to give people at home the permission to avoid a trap of thinking that you have to arrive at the same conclusions as Erica Kirk, especially.
Can we come to an opposite reaction than you? That's the thing.
When the story that we have been presented thus far makes little sense, if any sense. It makes, I think, virtually no sense. To that end, later on in the show, we will discuss Tyler Robinson, who has now made his first in-person appearance in court. And I guess the good news there is that we know he exists. Welcome back to Candace.
I would love, love to be a fly on the wall in that planning meeting. Because, you know, she be giving them fits. You know she does. Let's go. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear. Let's go. I'm sorry about the audio.
Let's just start with the talking points. Let's join the members of the press and the influencers, okay? Here's what we're saying. Let's be influenced. Talking points. There's a bigger mission at bay. We need to focus on a larger, bigger mission. Another talking point. It's going to ruin the trial. If you guys keep thinking that things don't make sense, you could ruin the case. And the final stop, of course, in these talking points is this is an illness, right? There's
Who's
something
saying
wrong
that?
with you at home if you don't find what we are telling you to be true. Trust us, okay? You're mentally unwell. What we are looking at right now.
Let's be honest. Come on, for real. Let's be honest. Have you honestly told somebody that they're mentally unwell if they have questions pertaining to Tyler Robinson and Charlie Kirk? Are you honestly saying that? Like, I would love to know, is anybody saying that? Because I have questions. Well, I could be mentally unwell too. But I mean, besides that though, is anybody saying this? Is anybody honestly saying that somebody is mentally unwell because they have questions? I think the fair thing is, this is a lie that teachers tell and parents tell children early on in life. There are no stupid questions. The problem is they're asking stupid questions. That's the problem. Because there are stupid questions. And most of them come from Candace every day. So nobody's saying this. I'm looking at here. Not many people are saying that. I mean, fair. Now, again, if they're asking a stupid question, maybe you do have, maybe you are questioning their mental capacity. But if they're actually asking a question like, well, what grade of bullet was used in the 30-06? Because I've seen several videos that show that many different types of bullets can be used. So I wonder which one. That's a logical question. That's a reasonable question to ask. Is UVU going to get pulled into a lawsuit because they didn't provide proper security? That's a great question. That's a great question. To say, well, how do we not know that somebody didn't pop out of a manhole cover and shoot Charlie Kirk from the bottom? Sir, ma'am, you need to go have your IQ tested. You need to have your IQ tested. Let's go.
Is a badly run PR campaign. I am saying that it is badly run.
Nobody cares
because it's recognizable. A good PR
Nobody
campaign is not
cares.
recognizable. A bad PR campaign is an obvious one. And I am going to request respectfully, I know it's not going to be honored, I'm going to respectfully request that all of these Agent Smiths in this obvious matrix just stop, okay? This PR campaign.
Okay, then I'm going to say on behalf of all the Agent Smiths, all the maroon shirt wearing Agent Smiths, continue, please. Carry on. Ratchet it up tenfold. There you go. There, I just said it too. There, we can say things, Candace. I love this.
It's been nonstop since Charlie was shot. It was honestly dead on arrival. Okay, we do not trust this. We do not believe this, and yet we are wildly kind of in this position where they're
another
testing
thing
to see.
There's another thing Candace likes to do. Candace takes her thoughts and she multiplies them to everybody. So it's kind of like me saying we're wearing a black hat that says the Jay Witt podcast. We really like this hat. We like the way it fits on our head and snug. That's how we feel. Well, truly, only one person is having that experience, and that's yours truly. But Candace takes that and applies it onto everybody. We all feel, no, Candace, you're the only one that's feeling like this because you need to go take a nap.
How many times they can say the same thing before they convince everybody else at home that it's true, okay? Their equation that they seem to be running, if it's that formula, is talking points multiplied by 10,000 talking heads must equal results, okay? They believe that with enough of an echo, they can override basic human instinct, basic intellect, really. There is, I would like to be very clear, nothing that feels right to me about the Charlie Kirk assassination.
So notice what she did there. And y'all, if there's a body language expert, only if there's been a good body language expert talking about this, please let me know. Don't send me just any Yahoo like myself. It's interesting. Notice before it was we, all these we's, all of this us, all of our, and all of a sudden this doesn't feel right to me. So she's taking this thing, she's taking her own feelings, she's magnifying it onto everybody, and then she puts the pinpoint at the end of it's just me. This is a masterclass in deception.
Especially the way that some of his employees and friends have been behaving since that assassination. And I'll preface this with, I am very sorry if that offends you, Erica. Genuinely, I am sorry that there is no amount of increase in pressure and propaganda and headlines written about me that are going to convince me. And by the way, I'm just the conduit, right? You're attacking me, but you're angry that also the masses have not accepted this. There's not a number that is going to convince the masses that his human neck, stopped a 30-06 bullet. Okay.
And the bad thing is when she finds out, because at the current moment, we don't know what bullet was actually used. So we don't know which one it was. We know the gun, of course. When she finds out, and she finds out that, yes, that is very possible. Yes, that's extremely reasonable. It's the same bullet that hit MLK or the same bullet grade that hit MLK. She's going to look just like she's looking right now. And she's going to move the pivot. She's going to move the goalpost and say, oh, whatever. Yeah, this is going to be fun. I'm here for it. Continue to mock Candace, y'all, please.
And not even just stop the bullet. I also want to be clear here.
Please
it's
tell
not just
us.
that they're saying that it ricocheted and it stopped, and this would maybe be the first time in human history. And please, if you do know a story, got an old article, I don't care where it's from, if you saved a newspaper article.
MLK, he was shot with the exact same gun. We just don't know we don't know the bullet. That's all. But it was the exact same gun.
From the early 1900s in your family of an example, I don't think that bullet existed then, but like of a 30-06 being stopped by a human neck, please present it. I'd like to show that it is possible.
Wow.
Right? It is actually, this happened one time down in Texas. It's possible.
Wow.
But not only are they saying that they stopped it, but I want to remind you that there was minimal damage to the front of Charlie's neck as well. Okay? There was minimal
Why
damage
is she so upset about that,
to
I
the
wonder?
front of Charlie's neck as well. So it didn't even cause a lot of, damage as it went in. It just cleanly went in and then ricocheted downward into his stomach. I'm frustrated, obviously, for a lot of reasons, but Erica's that's now being teased, the interview with Barry Weiss, it's being termed a town hall. And Barry is obviously just a Tel Aviv agent. Her entire background story, her rise, her studying in Tel Aviv, her family ties.
You're not tired of Candace enough. I'm telling you. So just very quickly, I just went over to my office assistant and I said, what bullet was used in the MLK assassination? According to the official investigation, Dr. MLK was deleted with a 30-06 caliber rifle. The bullet, here's the key details. The caliber was a 30-06 Springfield. Bullet, a Remington Peters 30-06 round. So I don't know what that, so we need to find out exactly what round it was. So, because MLK had an open casket, and he was hit I want to say he was hit in the jaw, but he was hit in the upper portion of his body. So it didn't remove his upper portion. It clearly didn't cause that much damage because he actually had an open casket. So this is not a phenomenon. And if Candace did any kind of research that even resembled authentic journalism, she would have found that out. I just literally looked it up. I didn't do any more research than that. So what happens if I had 10 minutes to look it up? What if I took a whole hour? What if I reported back on Monday what I found? I'd probably find a whole bunch more. Candace, you could have done this. You've been railing about the 30-06 bullet for 3 months, and you still have, no more now than you did then. I guarantee you, if you ask Candace, okay, well, what kind of bullets could actually be shot from a 30-06? What kind of caliber bullet could be shot? I guarantee you she wouldn't know.
Hand of Midas pulling her through the ranks a la Jeffrey Epstein. Despite her sub-average intelligence,
wow,
she's not interesting. She somehow becomes a chief over at CBS News.
Wow.
Right, this actually, what I'm saying about Barry Weiss, this gets into Tucker's quote-unquote problematic speech at SAS when he jumped on stage and basically asked that question, how are all of these subpar people becoming billionaires? The rest of us have to work forever. They're not interesting. They're not talented. And they just seemingly are just.
The irony of Candace Owens calling people subpar. And I don't know much about Barry Weiss. I don't have a dog in the race. But the irony of her calling somebody subpar and saying they don't earn it, that is some pretty, that's going to be studied by science. Science is going to be, we need a scientist to step up in here and start studying this. This is crazy work.
Getting all of this money and opportunities offered to them. This is clearly not a meritocracy that we're living under. It feels more like, and I'm saying this, more like a cartel. Okay, Barry Weiss is actually one of the people that we should study when it comes to being unimpressive and just getting handouts anyways. It's like welfare. I feel like she's on welfare. Like we all have to work, and she gets promoted, and she's.
Isn't it the irony here? I don't mean to keep stopping, but y'all, I have to take these in bites and doses. The irony of a woman who's worth several $1,000,000, who's married a man who's worth several $1,000,000, talk about working and meritocracy and getting handouts and all that kind of stuff like that. That's amazing. That is some amazing. That's that's amazing. Like, how do y'all let her keep playing? Like, I don't know. If you're a Cantifa person, I really need you. If you rock with Candace, I really need you to explain to me, how do you put up with this? Because I don't understand it. The way I'm formulated, the way God mixed me and scrambled me together, I can't do this seriously. There's no way I can take this woman seriously. To hear her talk about somebody being on welfare, when, ma'am, you didn't even pay your rent in that apartment in New York. Like, this is crazy work,
Going to
man.
be unimpressive in this clip because that's her default. She can't even convincingly ask.
Why is she
the,
so mad?
Prepared, loaded question that she is going to deliver to Erica.
How do you know this?
And this question, like I said, has likely, by the way, been reviewed and marked up by lawyers, but she still is not even convincing, despite having it ahead of time in this delivery. Take a listen.
Okay, let me hear it.
The podcaster Candace Owens.
Okay.
Okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's. At one time, an employee.
Oh, yeah,
of
I've seen
Turning
this.
Point.
Okay, I got you.
She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop.
Well, there we go.
That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
Shout out to Erica. Okay, Erica is very, hey, look, you may or you may not like Erica Kirk, but I'm going to tell you right now, that is extremely on the nose. You know why? Shout out to, wait, is that Paramount up in here messing up my live chat? What's going on? Paramount Tactical. Shout out, man. This guy right here, Gary, is an outstanding. I'm going to take a second. Gary's an outstanding content creator, man. Let me come on the other day. Had a great time with him and Sarcastic Liberty. We had a great conversation about planes. But y'all check out Paramount. If you could, moderators, please make sure Paramount Tactical's information is in the chat. He does an excellent job. This is a young man that went to UVU and walked around, did a 3D model of it. He's not playing games. He's not over here just saying, "Trust me, bro." He has the flight. He has the plane ticket to prove it, man. Shout out to Paramount Tactical. Thank you so much, man. I think Erica Kurt is extremely smart. And the reason I say that is because the name of the book shout out to Nikki. Nikki, I got your book sent off to you. The name of Charlie Kirk's book is Stop in the Name of God. And Candace Owens said she would stop if Erica Kirk told her. Every interview I've heard Erica in, she says, stop. It gives a nice, solid pause so that name of that book gets processed in your mind, as well as what she's saying to Candace Owens and the others. Stop. I think that's masterful. I think that is right. Masterful. Let's go.
So this is just, to me, I'm going to also let you know, they pre-recorded this. Obviously, I told you this yesterday from about 11 o'clock to 4 p.m.
Who cares?
I have sources just everywhere, CBS News. The people that were in the audience I showed you were emailing me, and they had to do multiple takes because Barry wanted to read a prompter. These questions were pre-submitted, okay? And
it is adorable to see a woman who's staring at a monitor, at a teleprompter, reading the teleprompter, has her computer in front of her, reading who knows what from her computer, and looking up at the sky, I guess praying to the demon that she prays to get information, to be mad at somebody because they took time to record something. Oh, and by the way, I think her show is recorded too. So miss me with that, Candace.
I would like to respond.
Who cares?
To this
Nobody
loaded question.
cares.
What would you like to say? The podcaster Candace Owens, and I'm not even going to address this repeat talking point about people making money, except for the people that have actually made off of all of the money, millions upon millions of dollars. But this is the new thing. It's like, if you keep doing what you were already doing in podcasting, or keep doing what you were already doing and doing ballistics on YouTube, if you catch a bunch of views, they want to convince you that, like, you.
She really is upset about whoever this is that this ballistics guy. She loves talking about the guy that got 1 million views doing the ballistics. She brings that person up all the time. Candace, Candace, a hit dog will holler. Okay, I don't do this. I'm making money doing this. Okay, I'll be honest. Okay, Candace, you're making money doing this. Just be honest. Stop lying, because you're not donating it. So stop playing. Like, just stop. You don't have to say anything about it. We all know that you're making money. Let it go.
Wake up and you turn into a millionaire. Building her business. What are you talking about? I already had this business. I was already at the top of the charts. Okay, I said I wasn't going to talk about it. I actually did, because it's so ridiculous.
But you weren't at the top of the charts. You were actually in struggle. If we go back, don't make me pull up the receipts. You were actually in struggle before you started that foolishness with the Macrones. Before you started the Macrones last February, your show was DOA. Dead on arrival, dead in the water, whatever you need to analogy you need. So don't get beside yourself, Candy. You were not that big. You were not that popular. The only thing that saved your channel, I hate to say it, was the doggone Macron case. And really, it was on the downslope before Charlie died. Don't make me pull up the social blade. That is not true what you're saying. I'm not taking from you that you've not been able to capitalize on controversy, but ma'am, you're lying right here. Just out. But this has been par for your course. Let us go.
Okay. But she says, I'm lying. And Eric responds,
because you are.
Her answer to what do you want to say to the podcaster Candace Owens, who is lying, is stop. So Erica would like me to stop lying. And I would like to honor that. Okay.
Oh, mercy.
I can only honor that if Erica is more explicit in terms of what I have lied about.
See, there you go. Moving at goalposts.
What did I lie about? It's just incredible. There have this opportunity. The questions have been preferred. You could just start like going through them. Maybe they will. By the way, it's coming out on Saturday. Maybe I've made a mistake somewhere and I'm happy. I want to correct that, right? I'm not interested. My goal is not to tell lies. It is obviously plausible that I have made mistakes. I've reviewed these lists that we've put together and I can't find the lie, okay? The lies that I find are coming out of Turning Point USA.
I gotta stop. I gotta give y'all we gotta clean the palette, y'all. Let me clean the palette real quick. All right, let me just give you, I just want to point out, Candace says she didn't lie. She's not lying. And let me just show you right here. Ma'am, this is your social blade. Before April of last year, ma'am, your social blade was on the down. Okay, it was down bad. March 2024, your podcast was in the hopper. It was getting flushed. It was a triple flush type of situation after Taco Tuesday, right? And then you got to 0, and then what did you do? This is the first episode of the Macron case, and now look where you went. So please stop playing with me. Stop playing. You lied when you said you was at the top of the pile. No, you've been building your brand off of controversy. That's what you've been building off of. Stop playing. That's it. Tell the truth. Shame the devil. I mean, it's sad that you can get over here and lie to your audience and they won't call you out about that.
Okay, and here are some of those lies. You know, Mikey had blood all over him. Okay, Mikey has offered that his dad was confused. I'll accept that. Well,
Then take it off of there then.
Rob McCoy lied. His father
No,
also said
see,
he called him.
so any kind of misspeak is a lie. Well, if you say that he answered that, then take it off of there. Then it's not a lie. I want to screenshot this because I've been looking for this list. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. I've been wanting to get this. Got it. Yeah, just take it off there then. Let's keep going. Let's
His
go.
father first. Maybe Rob McCoy was confused. Mikey being a hero for walking away doesn't feel honest. Charlie's neck stopping a 30-06 bullet because he ate healthy and had strong bones. It was a modern day Christian miracle. That feels like a pretty big lie.
So a doctor saying that something happened and a bullet did not behave like a bullet usually behaves, that's a modern day Christian miracle that we should besmirch. But Charlie Kirk coming to you, speaking to you, telling you that he was betrayed, we should buy into that. You, quote unquote, praying and God telling some lunatic, God telling some man to send you an email about going through the woods and meeting mountain team and finding a drug cartel, we should believe that is God's providence. But seeing that somebody was struck with a bullet and the bullet not behave like we think it should behave, that's not a miracle. Okay, got you. I just want to make sure I understood exactly what we're supposed to be doing.
Okay. Charlie never wavered in his support for Israel was a nasty lie. Maybe Barry want to like, what do you want to say to the people that literally lied about what Charlie was living through?
I want you, and it's adorable that she has BB's name on here. Remember, she said BB was lying about the letter. That implies that she has evidence to the contrary. Remember, BB read like 3 sentences from the letter, and then he came on and read the whole thing, and then they even published it in the New York Times. And when he read the letter and when we read the whole thing, it does say exactly what BB said here. So where was BB lying? Where's your evidence, Candace? At this moment, she still hasn't shown any evidence up to this point. If you're a Cantifa member, why is it that your person never shows evidence?
Through in the last weeks of his life. Stop, Josh Hammer. Stop, Bibi Netanyahu. No, I'm sorry. Barry Weiss is here. We're not going to get to that. Charlie was a committed evangelical who only liked Catholic architecture. Did I lie about that? Nope. Turning Point USA lied about that. And I was attacked for telling me, I'm attacked for catching the lies. We'll get to that later. That's their new method. Once first they accused me of.
Hold on, because I think it was RD Trolls or somebody. I just saw it today. The whole thing about the Catholic, he was converted to Catholicism. She brought that up. That's her. She brought that up. Nobody else with a clear mind was saying that except Candace. With no evidence was she saying this. She never even showed us anything of proof that says, Charlie Kirk in the last 2 months was considering converting to Catholicism. Nothing. Let's let this go.
Lying. Then I prove I'm not lying. And then their strategy is to attack me for telling the truth and saying, how dare you reveal a personal text message to defend yourself from being called a liar. We can keep going here.
Nobody said that.
Has any of this been clarified? Ben Shapiro said they never had any bad blood between them. I proved that was not true. Again, that also came from a little PR. Alex Clark pulling that move. Next page. Terrell Farnsworth was told to remove that SD card by police. That was not true. Terrell Farnsworth personally told me that was not true. Terrell removed the SD cards because people were stealing hats. Again, not what Terrell Farnsworth himself told me. And also doesn't make any logical sense because if you were worried about theft, you would have taken the cameras and not just the SD card, particularly from the camera behind his head, as opposed to the cameras that were in front of him. Lie.
So since she alleges that she saw the video, and see, this is the part where Candace lies so much that she gets herself twisted up. Because remember, she said that when she saw the video, when she initially contacted the person and they showed her the video, that there was lots of blood all over the place. But then she says later on that she didn't see the video and she heard that there was only blood on his fingertip. Again, this is insanity. What does that matter? Okay, let it go, Jason. Don't stop anymore, Jason. Stop it.
Charlie established a Doge and it was not unusual. That's a lie. It was unusual. Doge didn't even exist prior
she
to
knows
Elon
that.
Musk
She
making
knows the
statement about
problem.
government accountability. Charlie Kirk's team did not fly drones. Major lie. Brian Harpole told that lie. Brian Harpole also told a major lie when he said that the security had communicated with UVU police to secure those rooftops. That was a lie. It was actually the walkway behind. What am I getting here? What have I done here in this presentation that I lied about?
Not a problem.
Have I made mistakes along the way? Yes, I'm not perfect, and I will always adjust those mistakes. So I'm asking you to tell me what I lied about.
Okay.
Why is there not this same energy also for the feds? Because they've told some lies. We've got a list of those too. We put that together. We would like some clarity. Again, Charlie being shot with a 30-06. The lover text messages mysteriously presented without any timestamps.
But neither.
Lying about.
Okay. The irony is just ridiculous. Don't worry, y'all. I'm gonna save these and I'm gonna post these. And I'm just gonna let y'all have fun with these. This is insanity. The funny thing is, she posts text messages with no date stamps, no time stamps herself. So why is that a thing? But notice what she has here. She has lies and oddities. So I guess lies are the same as oddities, or oddities are different from lies. Are they? Because otherwise you could just say fed lies. You don't need to say and oddities, because that kind of insinuates that oddities are different or not of the same caliber, pun intended, as lies. So why don't you just say fed lies? Because oddity could just be something that's odd.
How Tyler Robinson was arrested. They claim that he confessed and turned himself in. That's not what happened.
Charging
That he said he
documents.
was guilty. All of his, father said he was guilty. That's not what happened. Never revealed that Tyler Robinson was at the Dairy Queen following the assassination. He was throwing clothes away, as I presented to you guys, in the cemetery. That's problematic to the timeline. We'd like some clarity. That's an oddity. They said Tyler Robinson was arrested wearing a maroon shirt. That actually was also not true. They said Tyler Robinson was suicidal, but also turned himself in because he was afraid of being shot by police. Those two ideas seem to be running into each other. How can both of these things be true? Did he want to die or
Because
not?
they're in a vehicle. That's why the car and the vehicle collided. That's how it happened, Candace.
I don't want to die. Maybe there's an explanation. It's definitely odd. And the footage mysteriously missing of Tyler Robinson turning himself in. And then, of course, there's just like things that we can't get answers to, which is the Egyptian planes, tracking Charlie, following Erica throughout years. Instead, they're laughing at these things. So what am I lying about?
I know what you're lying about. Hey, I know what you're lying about. You're lying about the assassination attempt on your life. Notice on her list, she didn't have that on there. I was waiting to see if it would pop up. She doesn't have that on there. She doesn't, all this stuff that she cares about more than the fact that there's an international hit team out there about to take her life. This woman is so unserious, y'all. I'm sorry, man. If you want me to treat her seriously, she's going to have to be serious. She's going to have to be a serious person. This is not seriousness. This is laughable, mockable content right here. There's no other way around it. Again, don't even worry about email and management because nobody there cares. This is ridiculous.
Explicitly lying about, not made a molecular or a minor mistake. We got a time zone wrong. And then it's like, she lied. The plane left a couple of hours earlier.
Nobody.
Maybe
No, because
somewhere.
we think that the whole Egyptian plane thing is stupid. And it's a dumb argument. Nobody's arguing about the planes because they're dumb. That's why. You
I
want
made a
us to argue
mistake
about
on a
that.
timeline of Charlie being here
She's
on this day when
offended.
he's actually there on that day. But I'm talking like, where am I lying? Because I
So
would
you
like
can
to
make
stop.
mistakes. You can make mistakes, but nobody else can make mistakes. You can make mistakes, but Rob McCoy can't say my son called me first when they actually call him second. You can't do that. Okay. They can't do that, but you can. Okay. I just want to make sure I understand the game's played.
If you can tell me. Okay.
Nobody
And maybe
cares.
they will. Maybe we'll get to
Kick
that on Saturday.
rocks.
And by the way, to be clear, I am also telling the truth. It is not my opinion that these questions were pre-selected. It's a fact. It's a fact. Like I said, we have insiders.
Who
The questions were
cares?
pre-selected. And
Baby, your
one
show is
of-
pre-recorded. And so your your show is pre-recorded and you edit it. So please stop with the all this bravado. Who cares that am I to believe that the question is supposed to be organic and it has come off the top of their dome? Man, please.
the pre-selected questions was for Erica, and this will come out on Saturday, setting the stage for her to condemn anti-Semitism, to which she responds and speaks about, as I told you yesterday, how Turning Point will be hosting a Shabbat dinner. And in case the direction of travel for CBS under the stewardship of Barry Weiss is not clear, they even brought in during this town hall the father of the young woman who was shot in DC at the Jewish Museum. I think that was an IDF soldier. I might be wrong about that. They also brought out Hunter Kozak, who asked the last question to Charlie Kirk. They filled the audience with people selected by CBS, college Republicans, with questions selected by CBS. So it just is objectively a controlled and a managed situation, a controlled and a managed conversation, if you will. But, and you can predict.
Have y'all ever heard Candace read an email, a comment, or a post that wasn't favorable to her? Oh, because that seems like that would be like a controlled environment. I think that's controlled. Like You know, on my comment section, I leave posts up there that say bad things about me. I leave them up there. I even pin them to the top most of the time. I've never heard Candace do that. Have you? I'm just wondering what. Okay, never mind.
Like this. If you are at home this Saturday and you watch this and you're just,
She is
a
mad.
regular old person around the world and you go, this feels really scripted. The influencers are going to come out and they're going to mark you as evil, demonic even. How dare you? Question, what? Are you kidding me? This is like, you're not allowed to say that this feels scripted ever, even though this entire thing since September 10th feels scripted to me. But that's not it, okay?
To me, I can't imagine that. I'm just going to say it again. Like, there's an international hit squad out after your life, and I am sitting here upset about Barry Weiss and Erica Kirk sitting on the couch talking. But I'm making the biggest issue that, and not the fact that and allegedly the hitman lives in your town. Like, why is that not what you're talking about? Why is that not the biggest thing there's no way I would not be talking about that. I'd have been talking about that. I probably would have been talking about that since I brought it up until it's just like, ma'am, you're just not serious. You're just not serious. And it's sad. It's sad to see that you really think that nobody takes you serious, Candace.
We're going to get more because we also sat down with Glenn Beck of Blaze TV.
Shout out to Glenn.
Again, this is all a part of a PR blitz for Charlie's upcoming book on honoring the Shabbat, which I'm not going to be doing because I'm Christian. So I'd like to already just say no. Okay. Anyways, Glenn Beck's interview has a bunch of high points, if you will. Foremost, Erica stressing that she believes that the truth is clear. Take a listen.
I don't know how you handle this, Eric. I don't know how to be dragged into, you were involved in the death and all this crazy, evil stuff.
No, it's sick.
God bless you.
It's sick.
God bless you. It is.
My family means everything to me. Turning Point USA has always been in our life and has always been so good to Charlie, and Charlie was good to his team. Everyone loved Charlie.
Yeah.
I get that. Everyone wants an answer to this evil. And sometimes the answer is very clear.
Yeah.
The truth is very clear.
So I just want to say to, first and foremost, Glenn setting that question up, I can't find to this day, because this just feels to me to be like the ultimate straw man, any commentator that has explicitly accused Erica of killing Charlie Kirk. I've seen psychological manipulation of influencers trying to say that if you critique Turning Point, that's akin to accusing Charlie Kirk of Erica Kirk of killing her husband, which is
at this point, just whatever. I mean, whatever, Candace. If you want to go ahead and just keep using that lie, girl, go ahead and do that. Knock yourself out. Knock yourself unconscious.
utterly ridiculous.
You are utterly
But I've
ridiculous.
never seen, and maybe I missed it, I've seen a lot, somebody come out and say Erica Kirk murdered Charlie. But that's what they set up always, which is like, I don't know how you are. I've seen people digging into her background. I've seen people speaking about her Romanian charity. I've seen people looking into her mother, all of that. I've seen all of that, but I have not yet seen where this idea that they keep trying to seed into our minds that asking any questions
Whatever,
is
Candace.
is equivalent to accusing
Whatever.
her of murder.
Whatever,
That
Candace.
even that feels manipulative to me. Then comes in this totally organic question from Glenn Beck. Totally organic, right? And this is going to be the extreme appeal to authority, which is
And real quick, and I want to pull this up. Shout out to Suzanne right here. This is exactly what she does. She salts she lays out the case before you hear it. So instead of letting you hear it and then come back and discuss it, she's already told you what, that this is a totally organic conversation, totally organic question. So she's already ruined your thought as it relates to this, that this wasn't organic. And we've already know that she just talked about Barry Weiss for 5, 6, 7 minutes instead of talking about the international hit squad. But I digress. She's already told you that these things are scripted, which I don't think anybody doubted that. And let it go, Jason.
Okay, if we don't want to answer any questions, we're just going to say you don't understand how the court works. You shouldn't be asking questions because that could potentially ruin the upcoming trial. Take a listen.
You concerned about his assassin is in court today? Are you concerned about being able to have a jury that's not been tainted?
No, it's a real thing, Glenn, and you get this. A lot of people don't, and I think that we need to do a better job of educating our citizens about our court systems. A lot of people don't know how an actual trial plays out. I am very curious about how the United Healthcare case plays out. We are living in a day and age where social media can absolutely impact. I feel it can. The reason I say that is because I don't want a tainted jury pool. I want justice for my husband. Anytime we have leads, anytime we hear anything.
How about this one? Shout out to this question right here. I think that would be great. And I started to put it together. If I make a Google document and just make it available to everybody, could we just do this? And I'll make everybody an editor. So y'all, we got to be, just list her lies. And if you find the evidence to it, that'd be even better. I'll make that if we all agree to participate. I hope I don't regret that.
We send it to the authorities. We're not messing around. None of us are involved in my husband's murder. None of us. Turning Point USA, myself, any of these other crazy accusations, none of us.
Okay, so this is what I mean, where I just feel like we're just doing the same thing over and over and over again in politics, where you can just apply any situation. Like it's how it starts. It's like they come up with a narrative and it feels really stupid. You could apply this to COVID, whatever. And then
Wow, how are we
people
getting
start
COVID?
asking questions because it feels really stupid. And then they tell you like, oh, I wish you guys were more educated about science. I wish you guys were more educated
Who
about
said that?
doctors and nurses, and like, you're just not there. I wish we could explain to you how these things work. You're going to have to trust the experts. And yeah, I actually think that also because you guys are not trusting the experts, we're going to have to censor people on social media as they did during COVID, because social media is problematic. Actually, the problem is free speech ultimately, right? Like the problem is that you have people on social media who are talking common sense and they don't understand this. Okay, that's like, that doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me, and it shouldn't work for you. And this next portion is where we get into the mass formation psychosis element, which is when they're trying to modify our behavior, the behavior of the masses, and they kind of want us to all form around this idea. And this is kind of actually the we're all in this together psychology that you're about to see, right? The higher calling element of the psychological conditioning.
You mean to tell me that this woman is going to sit here on this here internet and talk about psychological manipulation and higher calling, and we all are called to a greater good, when that's literally what she says? Like literally your argument, what the show is about that. Like that's insane work. This is some crazy work, y'all. Please tell me this woman is not doing this on the Lord's internet like this. Please tell me I'm seeing things. My goodness.
You guys are focusing on the minutia of that day and whether or not the government is involved with assassinating Charlie Kirk.
Nobody is saying
But
that.
Tim Pool's telling you guys midterms. There's midterms and there's things. That's the higher calling, right? The masses
Wow.
should get around that higher calling. Like, even if it goes against your gut to mask your toddler, even if it goes against your gut to let your grandma die alone in a hospital, even if something
This is such a y'all. She is first of all, she's mad as hell. I gotta say it like that. I can't parse it anyway. She mad as hell. She's spitting fire. She literally keeps trying to tie this to Charlie Kirk's deletion to a global pandemic. Do you see the amount of shenanigans that takes? I'm not saying that Charlie Kirk's life was not important, and I'm not saying the global pandemic wasn't a big deal. But those two things are not the same. But she keeps bringing this back. Wow, man, this is wild. This is wild, y'all.
screaming at you, and you're saying, why does this all feel abusive? Like
Who's saying
abusive to
that?
toddlers, abusive to our grandparents, let them die alone. Why does it feel to me, my instinct tells me that we shouldn't put medical masks on toddlers who can't see expressions? Well, the higher calling is that you should always ignore your gut, right? Because we're all in this together, and there's something bigger that we can aspire to. You should violate your gut instinct, and that's what's coming next. Take a listen.
After I've
I don't
spoiled
need
the
you to
well.
comment on this, but I think mental illness is involved in some of this stuff that is online. I think it's really
and Glenn,
honestly,
I'll be honest,
I feel bad. It's mentally.
I am not going
it's
to
mental
waste my
illness.
time. Yeah, I'm not going to waste my time in combating
I wish
people,
like
going
Yeah,
toe to toe, calling people names. That's just not me. That's not how Charlie operated. There's no reason for me to go down a dark place like that. I'm so tired of the fracture. What drives me nuts is that Charlie, he has worked and
all good, I think.
provided and has blessed us with so much, like literally his book. He has blessed us with so much wisdom, so much. He's just such a good thought leader. He blessed us with laser focus on the mission, on saving this country. But instead, we're so focused on who did what. Like, yes, we will figure all that out. Yes, this is a murder case. He did not die in a car crash. Yes, that will be handled. But my husband's legacy is not about his murder. My husband's legacy is what he left behind.
Hold on. A lot of people on X have been saying, and other places, it seems like this has become this groundswell is really picking up, that Candace has positioned herself like the scorned lover, the ex-wife, the side chick, whatever words you want to use. Like, the fact that she has anything to say to his wife that's just diabolical work right there. That is some crazy word. All right, let's see what you got to say.
Reject that. Okay, I reject that there's a higher calling that we need to all get around, and the legacy of actually the legacy, if we find out that the government is implicated, and it looks like to me, and I think a lot of people on the outside, the government is implicated, otherwise it wouldn't require every department of the government using propaganda to convince us against common sense, okay? And if we find out that the government is implicated, then actually his legacy is going to be that a person who gave all of himself to helping people get elected, all of himself to this political machine, was ultimately killed by it. And I think that matters to a lot of people. And I think it's obvious it matters to a lot of people because what feels like $1 billion campaign of propaganda against it doesn't seem to be working. There is something very big that we are very close to unpacking here. And the panic that we sense right now in deploying what feels to me to be a really nasty emotional tactic here, basically trying to say to people, how dare you go against the grieving widow? How dare you go against David Hogg, right? And you're like, well, I don't know if David Hogg, I know I'm very sad, obviously, that a school shooting happened.
So yesterday somebody pointed out that she equated Erica Kurt to Meghan Markle and a Real Housewife participant. And now she's throwing Erica Kurt in the same boat with David Hogg. So in an attempt to besmirch her character, Erica's role in her position, her character, by tying her to these people. She doesn't tie her to anybody that is noteworthy, anybody that we can look up to and say, okay, that's a great example of a woman that's persevering through a very terrible time in her life. No, we got Meghan Markle, I forgot who that Real Housewife, and now David Hogg. I think that's a very interesting tactic that she uses.
The Parkland shooting at high school should not happen. No child should have to live with that. But why does that mean David Hogg gets to go to Harvard? Right? Does that make sense? Like, does he belong at Harvard? And they go, oh, how you evil, demonic person. Are you possessed? How could you ever question his authority and whether or not he's equipped to run the charity and speak on, gun issues? He survived a school shooting. That's what
says
they're
this?
doing right now. And I want to also say that why I don't love these interviews, and I say this with great deference to Erica. And in the beginning, with some of these interviews, I said, look, like, of course, they're going to want to make sure they screen these questions. Like, she's going through a lot. Like, she's transitioning, she's doing this. She's like, I was like, I wouldn't want to be in her position.
Oh,
We're
but you
3
would.
months in now. Okay. We are still getting rehearsed answers. And I feel like what is missing from all of this is, I don't know, like passion, normal passion, not this like chat GBT feeling of, well, we all need to unite around the mission. It's like, no, I don't really care about cash. I would just be like, what is the borough doing? What has anybody traced this down? Okay, I don't know if Candace is crazy, but she says the French Foreign Legion was there. Has anybody chased this down? I texted her, I got this information. Okay, it's wrong. That's a dead end. Let me move over here. I've got files. I'm going to run this investigation alongside you, Cash. And I don't know what he's doing. I want like one critique of the FBI, one critique of anything, which the public is saying is.
Nobody's saying that, Candace. Do y'all think Candace knows that the FBI is not running the point on this case, or do you think that's going to be a surprise and a shock to her? Do you think she has done any research on that? She wants people to be out of pocket. The goal is to be a disruptor. The goal of Candace Owens is to disrupt and, dare I say, cause division. There's no other goal in there. She doesn't care about Charlie. Charlie be danged. She doesn't care about Charlie. She don't care about Charlie's legacy, Charlie's kids, TPUSA, and definitely not Charlie's wife, because she wishes she had been Charlie's wife. I'm gonna say it just in case y'all don't want to say it. I'm gonna say it. She doesn't care. This woman does not care, y'all. This woman
Worthy
is
of
unserious.
critique. Like, it's almost like you're dressing down public perception. Like, people think that you can have enough money to just cut over people's gut instincts. That's what it is. It feels like we're
talking
so
about?
rich, you don't have the right to think.
Who's saying
We are
this?
rich enough to remove that. So stop thinking.
Who is saying that we're so rich you don't have to think? Because Candace is, I'm going to go on a limb and say that Candace is richer than most of her audience. Who is saying this? This is wild work, y'all.
Here, it feels elite. That's why I hate this. It feels elite. It feels like the opposite of whatever turning point felt like when they were the underdogs, right? This entire presentation is elite. I'm on CBS stage with pre-prep questions and Barry Weiss, and I obviously have rehearsed this answer because I got these questions ahead of time.
Wow.
I obviously know I'm going to get asked this, so I'm going to do I don't even like, and this is a fact. You can ask anybody who's ever interviewed me. I never ask for questions ahead of time. I don't want to know. I don't want to know the direction.
Who cares, Candace? Who cares? We saw what happened with your interview with CNN. You let that drunk wine wife drag you through. You looked terrible. So maybe you should have read the questions before. That's not a badge of honor. Yo, this woman is unserious. Yo, please tell me this is a joke.
I never give them anything. I never say we can't talk about this. Nothing's off record.
I'm so much better.
Even getting questions ahead to me, preparing answers feels fake and gay. Right?
Wow.
That just
you are so stunning and brave.
Rehearsed. Because it is. It has to be rehearsed. You got the questions ahead of time. And at this stage, I don't like it.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like it. I want something that feels anywhere where it feels authentic. Like one question mark that you have. You're like, oh, like I'd like you to be like, I don't know about those text messages. I think Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger. But the text messages are weird. It's just, I trust my team. My team is amazing. And my favorite date is April 24th because it's not too hot and it's not too cold. And all you need is a light jacket. Like it feels fake. It does. I'm sorry. And I am still interested in getting basic answers to our questions. I don't accept that that's somehow going to ruin the court case because that's a nonsense. You cannot logically explain to the public how letting us see Mikey McCoy's phone records is just one example if that's really causing you so much grief. Here they are. Here's who we called on that day and for how long. How would that implicate? How would that frustrate?
Isn't it adorable that Candace wants to see Mike McCoy's phone records, but Candace can't show you one text message between her and Charlie since 2024? How about you do the exact same thing? I will, if Candace Owens will show us her text message with Charlie Kirk anywhere since 2024 and forward, so the last 24 months, I will get on here and say Mike McCoy needs to give her phone records on who he called immediately after the deletion of Charlie Kirk. I will stand by that. But the Cantifa won't ask her. Y'all will get out here in your fields, all out here acting a fool for Mike McCoy's phone records, but you'll never see Candace's. And I'm going to say it again. I still haven't seen that 920 email. I want to see that 920 building email, and I want to see the police report of you filing a police report that an international hit squad was put out on you. But see, nope. Nope. We weren't about Mike McCoy's phone.
Straight your lawyer's efforts. How would the current court case and the jury pool be impacted if you answered about why these Egyptian planes, why it's a statistical anomaly?
Because
these Egyptian planes.
Because the Egyptian plane argument is retarded. That's why. We're talking to a crackhead down at Midtown Station. And we don't sit there and debate with crackheads who stand outside arguing with pigeons. We don't argue with them. We don't do it. So the whole argument about Egyptian planes, Candace, is deflected. It's basically an IQ test. I have it on good authority based upon my own information and belief that somebody was playing games with you, and this has been a very long, drawn out joke, and you just don't realize it. So that's why they're not going to answer about the Egyptian planes, because you're being made a fool of.
Be surrounding Turning Point USA faith events, you and Charlie, this many times. How would that impact? And again, I'm a gut player. It's common sense. So forgive me for not being elite enough and educated enough and expert enough to understand how it would impact things. Explain it to me like I'm not a legal expert, like I don't trust legal experts. I think they're all full of shit. Explain it to me that way. It's not tracking.
She's mad, y'all. She mad. I deputize everybody to continue whatever you're doing to get under her skin. Continue. Matter of fact, I deputize you to ratchet it up 20-fold. Just keep mocking her, because there's no reason to even treat her like it's serious. This is just something we're making fun of her, and that's all we're gonna do.
Not tracking, and
Who cares, Candace? Who
are
you?
I get it. It's me against the whole world. Actually, it's not. It's me against the elites. We done.
Notice, she did it. She just said it. Me against the whole world. Me against the elites. This is all her. But she's about to change it because she got to try to fix it. She realized what she said.
A lot of times, like I said, Ukraine, COVID. There's a formula here. There's a pattern here. If all of the mainstream apparatus and all of the influencers are pushing something and calling the other thing evil, we're probably about 2 years away from them all then apologizing and being like, I just got it wrong. I shouldn't have told you to get the vaccine. It's a pattern that I've noticed. So I'm going to stick with saying that what happened on September 10th, we are not getting the truth about.
Oh, my gosh.
We will be back after a few messages from our sponsors.
All right. Shout out. Woo, goodness gracious, y'all. Y'all, man, let me tell you something. The only thing that makes my day better is knowing that y'all are here. Shout out to the 1,955 of y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Am I at least trying my best to earn it? Did I at least try my best to earn a like? Shout out for sure. Do you think Candace is violating? Yes, the YouTube community guidelines. And if so, which ones do you think Candace is violating? Sharing personal information, threats, putting people's lives in danger, and cyberbullying. Community guidelines. And if so, which ones? Those are the ones. There's some other ones that probably, but I think those are the 4 right off the top of my head without thinking about it. Thank you so much, Amy, for the $10 for sure. All right, let's keep this going. Marissa says this with the 5. She didn't want a rando to become CEO and was glad when Erica was announced. Now she's saying someone else should have been taking the role. You just can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. You can't. I thank you so much for the 5. Thank you so much. The waster said this with the $2. Watching her here keeps me from throwing my phone. Well, on behalf of your phone, welcome. Your phone appreciates you, and I speak on behalf of your phone. Don't throw your phone. And over here, thank you so much for the 2. She's annoyed. We're annoyed. Look, let me tell you something. I'm enjoying watching her crash out. I'm enjoying it because it's getting worse and worse. I think by tomorrow, man, she might just straight outright just like slap somebody. I don't know what's gonna happen. MT, thank you with the 2. Rage quitting and be back to watching twice speed. You know, for some reason or other, it won't allow me to double speed her video, and the audio is bad too. I don't know what the audio issue is. I have no idea. I know a lot of people have been asking me about that. Erica Kurt, is the press now become, because it is a book tour. I'm sorry, let me say it again. Erica Kurt is in the press now because of the book tour. Right. Candace does not want to talk about that book. She does not want to, unless she disparages it. She does not want to put it out there that, Charlie wrote this book about Judaism, about his love for the practice of taking the Sabbath off because he was turning his position on Israel. See, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't work. And she knows that. So she doesn't want to really bring that book up because she knows that that's going to be a problem with her narrative. Thank you again for the $2, man. Fans, I appreciate you always supporting us. What do we have here? SC Dog fan with the $5. As the Kelsey brothers say, there's no stupid questions, just stupid people. I think, look, there's some bad questions, but yeah, I'm right there with you. Thank you so much for the 5. Fancer came back again. We don't know the grain of the round of the 30-06. That's my point. And if we find out that the grain of the round in the 30-06 was meant for a fox or a coyote, that's very different than if it was meant for an elk. Now, if you come up in here with a grain of bullet that was meant for an elk, well, now we got some questions. But if we say, oh, no, this was meant to take out a coyote, that's a whole different game. But see, that's what Candace doesn't know. Shout out, thank you, Phantom. Because she's going to lose her mind. This is what will happen. If it comes back that the grain of bullet was meant to take out a coyote. Because also think about it like this. He got the gun from his grandfather. His grandfather was using it for hunting. The likelihood is not that his grandfather was out hunting an elk or a doggone deer. He probably was using it for border patrol or correction or hunting small animals to get him off of his small predators. That's a boar. I mean, you use that to take out a boar or again, a coyote or a fox. Shout out. She's going to lose her mind when she finds out though. Go Max Agent Smiths. There we go. Go Max Agent Smiths. Thank you so much, Real Justice, for the $2. I appreciate you. What we got here? Cultured Redneck with the 10 says this. Matt Walsh is reposting memes making fun of Ian Carroll and Candace. The tide is turning. Matt Walsh, he's on my bad. Well, you know what? He's on a hold until further review, hold for review category. So I'll check him out. I appreciate that. Is that on X? I'm thinking it's on X. Thank you so much. Brand new member. Shout out to you, Ring. Thank you so much for joining us. Shout out to you. It's called a yaw. When a bullet enters a body and tumbles, never exits. She's dumb, and it happens. Her mask is slipping, and she's evil underneath. Thank you so much, Bertle, with the I butchered that. I just made that up. Sorry about that. With the $5, and that's the thing. Like, again, I don't own any weapons like that, but I respect the fact that bullets do different things. Like the fact that she doesn't understand that tells you like how much her Dunning-Kruger, but she won't actually admit that she doesn't know something. So it's crazy because we got somebody like Paramount Tactical who will show you exactly what it does and you can get a learning from it because he actually does this type of stuff. Shout out to Paramount Tactical with the $10 super. And please make sure y'all go check him out over there. I think he's doing a show at 8 o'clock, doing some more. I think they're talking about ballistics tonight. Matter of fact, truth be told, I think they're talking about ballistics. At the mosque, and make sure we drop their link in the chat. It just seems like why not learn something instead of just keep recycling bad information? Shout out again to Cindy right here. Candace was not in love with Charlie. The narcissist is incapable of love. The only thing she loves is herself. Okay, I just think, and you know what? I can take that. I can accept that. I can accept that because I don't think that, based upon information and belief, definitely the last 24 months, I don't think she had anything to do with Charlie. Charlie didn't have anything to do with her. So I can rock with that. Thank you so much for Relax Jacks with the $2. Says this, Candy and Tucker are bitter losers. I like it. I agree. Candace doesn't understand that what she's dealing with is a daughter of the Most High God. Thank you, Olivia, with the 5. I don't think Candace realizes that at all. The bullet that killed MLK Jr. was a 150 to 180 grain soft point metal jacket from 200 feet. Charlie was shot from roughly 600 feet. No exit wounds. Thank you. Okay. I hope now. So is a 150 to 180, is that like, what kind of animal is that meant for? Hunting, if you don't mind me asking. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, hey, y'all the best live chat on the planet. What does Captain Jack say? This is an example of the load that could be pushed from a 30-06, a 125 grain, very light load, commonly used for vermin or reduced recoil. Next is a 130 to 150 grain, light, flat deer loads. There we go. There we go. Thank you so much for the $10 super. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's more to it than just saying, oh, it's a 30-06, then it would have blown his head off. There's more to it. Thank you very much for that. Marissa says this with the 5. She put BB and Josh Hammer on TPS. Yes, TPS line list. They're now a part of TPUSA. See? But she'll say that she made a mistake. She'll say it. Let me get this last one. Phantom, thank you again with the 2. Only Erica Kurt can say if Charlie Kurt was wavering in his faith. There you go. Not my friend that I haven't talked to in, years. That just doesn't work. All right, let's see what you got to say. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
We are too rich. We are elite. We are rich. We are powerful. We have connections,
Who is
and
saying this?
you guys are just beneath us. It's there's like an element of feudalism here. Like, we are the lords, and who are you? Who are you? We can afford this, and we're gonna keep pushing, and until you believe what we say happened, even when it just makes no sense. It's frustrating. Like, I'm frustrated by it. And
Go
again,
do something else. Candace, I really think that, Candace, you might need to do something else. Maybe every day, all day, Charlie Kurt, all the time. Maybe you need to do something different. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be concerned about it, but my goodness, in the morning, if this is the byproduct of it, like, has anybody checked on your children? Like, go do something else with your day, with your life. Maybe do a show and just talk about cooking or something. Like, every day, every show doesn't need to be about this if it's doing this to you mentally, which I do think that we're watching you spiral out of control. And I think you're trying to couch it that you're in control, but I think you're out of control.
Clear. I think Tyler Robinson was involved on that day. I think there were multiple people that were involved in that day. Obviously, most people were involved. I think he took clothes and hid them in the cemetery or whatever next to the Dairy Queen. But I don't think that he was on campus that day. I do not believe Tyler Robinson was on campus that day. And I would just also like to point out how easy it would be for them to give us anything believable. Help me out, guys. Again, I'm not a legal expert. Glenn Beck understands this stuff, but who am I? I'm so sorry, Glenn. I don't explain it to us.
Wow.
But I don't understand how, if they just released a video of him taking the shot, because there's video of that, how would that ruin their case? How would that not support their case, actually? And also support their case with the public? Like, that would be the first thing I would do, rather than try to deploy this propaganda effort. You could just present something solid, like something that isn't flimsy in this entire thing. And I think that would be my call. I would just be like, here you go. There you are. Happy for you to see it. He took the shot, and you're going to see Tyler Robinson jump down, and it's not going to impact our case, because how could it? It's open and shut. He wrote out his entire confession. You're seeing the footage. Nope, they can't do that. Well, guys, I'm happy to learn that Tyler Robinson is not AI, because, that it's been so weird that we just can't see anything about him. Obviously, I'm being tongue in cheek, but he has finally appeared in person. He made his first in-person court appearance. Kind of seemed like he was smiling. I did not get the energy of someone who is worried about getting the electric chair. There's nothing really to add here. There wasn't anything that really came out of this hearing. Everything is obviously very preliminary at this stage. This is going to take a long time, but we're obviously hoping that they are going to allow transparency and accessibility to the case by allowing the media in there. Media organizations, even for this case, are requesting the transcript of the hearing, and hopefully we will have more. But he exists, okay? We'll keep you posted. In other news or things that I'm frustrated about is just...
Candace, if you're that frustrated, baby, you might need to go walk away. And by the way, I apologize. Some people, I got a couple texts and such like that. I'm trying to look. It appears that the Google document for the lies was locked. I think it should be open now. So if you could try again, if not, I might have to try something different, but it was locked a moment ago. So I apologize about that. Okay, let's get back because Candace is frustrated.
More than the people who hate me and are dedicated every minute, because apparently they're allowed to get clicks off of my name. I'm not allowed to talk about what I want to talk about on my show, but they can talk about what they want to talk about over and over and over again on their show. But I reserve more contempt for the people who don't have the courage to just hate me and instead try to hide behind Bible verses. There is something that deeply and spiritually bothers me about that. And chief among them is Allie Beth Stuckey, okay?
Wow.
She presents herself, like her brand is squeaky, clean Christianity, does a lot behind the scenes. She's hired like a monster PR agent. Anyone will tell you that. There's not a single Daily Wire host, Matt Walsh, Michael knows nicest people ever,
wow.
Brett Cooper, that will defend Allie Beth Stuckey's current PR agent, who is just literally hell-bent on advancing Israel's cause by any means necessary, like by sending someone to follow me after I was no longer employed there to try to make me look bad on camera. She keeps files and cuts people out of context and then sends it to people like Ian Miles Chong. I mean, this is a bad person who Allie Beth has hired, but we're supposed to believe Allie Beth is Christian. Anyways, I do want to point to this because she's now, no, it's always biblical. So you can never question whether or not she's just being a mean girl and using Bible verses to qualify being mean. But yesterday we peaked because she's now moved to being a teacher and letting you know that not trusting the mainstream narrative actually is it's a rhetorical device that was used during BLM. Let's just read her post here. This really annoyed me, and even further, the comment section annoyed me. But she wrote, in 2020, we all became familiarized with the Kafka trap. It's a rhetorical trick wherein you insist that someone's denial of an accusation proves their guilt. You're denying you're a racist because of your white fragility. It's a way to make your arguments irrefutable without ever having to provide evidence. BLM uses this tactic repeatedly, and now Candace has taken a page out of their book. Anyone, including Charlie's own wife, who pushes back against her conspiracies are only doing so because it's a psyop. They're getting paid. It couldn't possibly be that people sincerely disagree with her methods or can disprove her faulty logic. It's an effective, albeit dishonest, way to solidify yourself as the only champion of truth. Now, first and foremost, this is a very unfortunate example for her to use BLM, saying that 2020 taught us that many people fall for this type of thing, because the truth is most people don't want to think. Actually, Allie, ironically, I actually did the documentary on BLM and George Floyd. And the lessons of the George Floyd movement was that the entire media, plus influencers, can collude to suspend rational thinking and can use emotional arguments, right, to get you to stop looking at a corrupt charity. I can't believe she used this example. It's like, there's nothing more that could be in my defense than saying, oh, remember what happened in 2020? Yeah, I do remember what happened in 2020. The media lied about George Floyd. They lied about how he died. A video went viral. Every influencer posted black squares, called people racist, said you were with them or you're against them. You were evil if you didn't understand how far racism had become. And then little old me did a video, and I disrupted this narrative by telling people the facts about George Floyd's background, his record. I then did a documentary on it, and I revealed to the world that the media actually is to blame. Like, they will collude with each other. These are powerful organizations. They can make something go viral. They can make evil look like good and good look like evil. That is actually the true lesson of corporate structure versus really just a few truth tellers, people who are actually willing and dared to question that narrative. Okay. Now, my issue is that when people push back on her, she just pulls out the Bible. Okay. Like, for example, this is in the comment section. Somebody wrote to her because she's been sniping at me and it's been very mean girl-esque. This person wrote this on Instagram. They wrote in the comment section, you keep inserting yourself into this topic, but you never add any real value. So what is the agenda for you here? Candace wasn't even mean to you when you inserted yourself the first time. So mean girl energy, like that's a fair question. She does have mean
This is, let it go. Just
girl energy. Then she says, oh, Britt, I comment on the news. Charlie was my good friend. No one commenting on this story is inserting themselves any more than Candace is. You don't see value in learning how to decipher truth logically and biblically, and that's okay. Like that sentence, just play it again. I want to read it again. You don't see the value in learning how to decipher truth logically and biblically, and that's okay. My content is not for you then. How does that not just make your skin crawl? I don't know. Like, does that not make your skin crawl?
No.
Just be snipey and petty. Stop using the Bible as a shield.
It's interesting. Allie Beth Stuckey doesn't use the Bible there. She says, I challenge you to think biblically and logically. She didn't use the scripture. She just said biblically and logically. That's where I'm saying, like, Candace is so vitriolic. Y'all gonna have to prove to me that Candace is a Christian, because I'm gonna stand on it again. Candace is not a believer. She's not. Again, whether you disagree with Allie Beth, that's a whole nother game. But you can't say that she's being snipey there. She's saying, look, I'm telling you to think. I want you to think.
For what you're doing, okay? That woman accurately called you out. I don't know her. Thank you for saying it's very obvious what you're doing. To come back and say, I'm so sorry that you don't like the Bible. I'm so sorry that you don't like the Bible. She is like Salve Regina George, right? Like Mean Girls was fine because we all knew Regina George was mean. And she was like proud of that. Allie Beth Stuckey does the same like tactic of attacking people, sniping them. And then she's like, I'm sorry you don't like the Bible. I actually do like the Bible. I haven't made Christianity my brand because I'm a Catholic and I don't believe that women can be priests and should be playing the part of pastors. I believe that if I have a question about the Bible, I should go to my priest, not to Allie Beth Stuckey on Instagram.
That's stupid. That is exactly what that is some mentally deficient stuff. Allie Beth can teach Candace Owens. I don't see any problem with what Allie Beth does because she's not doing it in a church. But I digress. Candace, tell me that you go to your priest. I want to know what your priest says about what you do here. That's what I want to see. Y'all, Candace Owens is an IQ test.
Say to you is that a main takeaway is the truth. You should commit yourself to the truth. And Allie Beth Stuckey has gone through great pains to cover up for people that are lying. Okay. No one worse than Josh Hammer. Okay. Josh Hammer explicitly lied about Charlie's state of mind. He went on multiple podcasts. He called me a liar. He never blinked on Israel. If I did not release that text message, that would have been the narrative. If you are a Christian and you purport to have been a good friend to Charlie, that's low-hanging fruit to say what Josh Hammer did here was wrong. Okay. She says she's a good friend to Charlie, but when similarly I'm going to
put down $1 and say, I bet you Allie Beth Stuckey would be able to meet my 2024 challenge and show me a text message between her and Charlie since 2024 in the last 24 months. I think Allie Beth could probably do that. I don't think Candace could.
And said a thing about the Catholic faith. If you were a good friend, wouldn't you have said, you know what, Alex Clark? That whole little episode saying Charlie only liked architecture for what it's worth, it wasn't true.
How does she know it's not true, though? That's the thing. Like, you're saying it's not true. That doesn't mean that it's not true. And you're saying it. How does Allie Beth supposed to know what you're saying? And the information that you have? Because you're the only one that knows it, by the way. Nobody else can corroborate what you're saying. Get out of here, Jason. Let's go.
A friend to Charlie and you were committed to truth, then when Ben Shapiro lied and said that he never had any issues with Charlie, and I said that's not true, it's very, very much not true, why is your reaction every time that I expose the lie to attack me? That's what she does. I'm going to show you a clip. All of these people have been caught in verifiable lies. And let's be clear, they attacked me first. I never came out and attacked these people. I just said, oh, the Catholic thing was cool, and I was hoping for that. Or, as Ben came out and said that he was good with Charlie or whatever and was doing a show. That's not true. That actually is not true. And all these people just attacked me for saying, oh, he had some issues with Israel in the end.
I'm a
Watch
victim.
Allie, how manipulative it is that she is going to defend those characters who are lying and say that it's problematic that I am telling the truth after I've been lied on. Look at this clip.
I just want to stop and cliffhanger. She has a clip of Allie Beth and whatever happened with Josh Hammer, besmirching Candace's honor, but she can't show you that there was an international hit squad put out on her. That's what I'm saying. In the grand scheme of things, is Josh Hammer calling her a liar? Is that really the biggest problem on the slate? Is probably problem number 35. I think the biggest problem, number one, is the fact that she doesn't know Christ. But the number two problem is that there's an international hit squad out after her. And she still has not shown you one shred of evidence to that fact. Not one. But she's going to show us Allie Beth. But she's mad about Allie Beth calling her out.
She's released a bunch of texts about Ben between her and between Charlie, and, basically saying that they didn't like Ben very much back in the day, 7 years ago. And I just will say, I would hate someone to, after I die, to reveal texts like that, between us, because those texts didn't make Ben look bad. They made Charlie look bad.
Absolutely.
They made Charlie look bad.
So
and
manipulative.
That's
She's
your
so
friend.
manipulative.
That's your friend, man. And why? I mean,
Wait.
It makes him look petty.
It's funny. Y'all have to go back and watch this, man. This is classic. She's manipulating the situation for the longest. So she wasn't manipulating when she sat there talking about how Charlie with the whole dating thing and all that was manipulative. But her saying, hey, don't put your friend's stuff out there because it makes them look bad, that's manipulative. Okay.
And I'm just not sure what that revelation really accomplishes. She's also criticized Lila Rose heavily, and she's kind of questioned Lila's military connections, I guess, because her husband is a veteran. She has questioned Alex Clark and Alex's decision to talk to the Wall Street Journal a week after Charlie was murdered. And Candace claimed that it would make her feel icky to speak to the media 1 week after Charlie's death. She did do a CNN interview a couple weeks after Charlie died, though. And I just want to say, I know Alex.
No, she did that. She did that interview relatively short. So the same time that Alex Clark was doing, Alex Clark, I think, did hers within the week or so. But Candace was right there, right on her heels. And that's that dishonest thing. Just bringing it up.
And Lila really well. I know Seth. I've known Ben over the years. I know Josh. And everything I know about these people is that they are kind and genuine people. And I don't believe that they deserve at all to be implicated in this way.
I don't believe that they deserve to be called out when they're lying. I think it's fine that they attacked her. I think it's fine that they lied on her. The ugly thing is when Candace stands up for herself and brings receipts. So she demands evidence.
Where's your receipt?
Demands evidence. There's no evidence. I present the evidence, and then she says, you know what? Showing that text message from 7 years ago to prove that while Charlie was coming up, which is what I said, that's why it had to be from 7 years ago, obviously, that's the crime. That doesn't make Charlie look good. You telling the truth and not allowing a bunch of people to grift after he dies by pretending they were friends with him and had no issues, people that literally tried to stop him from coming who he became, allowing Alex to just lie about where he was while you purport to be a friend of Charlie. You mysteriously didn't know about the mass stuff, the Catholic conversation. The issue is me telling the truth. That's what she's saying. And in every episode, and she's done many, she always uses the Bible, okay? She uses the Bible. So how could you question it? Do you not like the Bible? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you don't like the Bible. Should I do that every episode? Should I say, I'm sorry if you don't like the Bible? I'm the Bible. So I just want to say, even these people that are lying,
Wow,
right?
the crash out
Well,
is
the
crazy.
Bible says that I don't think it's fair for you to call out my friends when they're lying. That is naked tribalism to the Judeo-Christian cause. That is what she cares about. She is
Wow.
a Zionist, and she will defend people who are Zionists even when they're caught lying. And that is not friendship. That is dishonesty. And like I said, you should
This
be
is sad.
ashamed of yourself to quote scripture, use scripture, manipulate well-meaning Christians to believe that it should be their Christian position to not call out lies, to not fight lies, to just allow them to happen. I don't like that at all. And like I said, I have special contempt for the people who come in the name of the Lord when they manipulate. That's worse than just hate it. You can hate me for free. You don't got to hold up a Bible when you do it.
Wow.
Take a quick break, and I will get to some of your questions.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call this a game because I don't really care about the questions. I don't care about the questions. Wow. Yo, this woman is evil, man. I don't know another way to say it. I don't know another way to slice it. This woman is vile. There's nothing good. My gosh, man. Like, Brenda, like, what is wrong with you? Man, let me say this. Let me say this, man. I appreciate these, man. You all have blessed me so much. Let me just say this. Let me go through these. This will brighten my day up. All right. Shout out to Marissa right here with the 5. She put BB and Josh Hammer in the TPS lies list, and they're not even a part of TPUSA. Like, go figure. Like, why is BB? Clearly, she's torqued off about certain people. Personally, I think Josh Hammer should probably be on every channel from now until whenever, and she's just going to probably lose her mind. I think he needs to be interviewed all over the place because she just seems to not be able to understand that. His book demonstrates he was not wavering. Thank you, Phantom. I mean, that's why I don't think she's going to mention that. Like, make that make sense. He wrote a book about practicing the Sabbath and the value of the Sabbath. Why? Help me understand. But he's having beef and issues. Like, that doesn't make sense. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Right here with the 10. My blood pressure is up. You can never refute her. She'll gaslight and twist everything to say everything you say so fast, you'll feel crazy. That's why people like Tim Pool are breaking, can't rationally engage a narcissist. Shout out. Thank you so much for that. Personally, look, I'm starting to like Tim Pool. I want Tim Pool to call me. We need to have a conversation about how to, I said I'm going to make a course. It's going to be called How to Deal with a Troll Without Losing Your Soul. Like, I don't like watching Tim crash out like that. That yelling and spitting and all that stuff. My dude, no sir, no sir. I want Tim to continue to keep putting out good content, keep his blood pressure down. I don't need you having no aneurysm, passing out on the live stream. Dealing with Candace, man, it does not need to be a serious issue. We just mock her. That's all we do. We don't treat her seriously. So if she doesn't like what's happening right now, she's going to hate what happens tomorrow. By God's grace, she's going to hate what happens on Monday because I'm planning to just be completely ridiculous. So shout out to that. Thank you so much. Phantom, she lies when her lips are moving. I mean, that's it. That's how it happens. Thank you so much for the 2. And of course, Captain Jax comes back up in here. Thank you so much. I have written hundreds of probable cause affidavits. You only provide the information required to explain to the judge what is the person was arrested. We have probable cause to believe they're committed the crime. So judge will keep them in jail. Perfect. There we go. Oh, by the way, y'all, I messed up that whole trying to do a Google spreadsheet. That was dumb. I'm going to put up a community post so we can put all the community, Candace's lies there, and then we'll aggregate them from there. So I apologize. I'm going to put that up as soon as the show is over. Thank you so much over here, Brandy, with the 10. If she wants truth, she might want to watch Paramount Tactical last night and tonight. Just saying. Hey, he's going to do a great job. And I don't think she wants truth. I think she wants to. Notice most of the show. Yeah, I think it's fair to say pretty much all of this show was defending herself. It had nothing to do. It was defending her honor. Like, how dare you say I'm wrong here? How dare you accuse me of this? How dare you say that about me? I don't think it's fair to say, I don't think much of the show was about anybody else but her and defending her position on whatever. Phantom, the father of the Mosaic Jewish victim in D.C. The father of the Messianic Jewish victim in D.C. I'm not certain who that is. Thank you for the two, but I'm not certain I know exactly what that is. Oh man, thank you so much, Goose. And Goose coming through with the 50. I wonder what Candace will say about lack of evidence now that the prosecution said today they've received 13,900 files, approximately 300 duplicates from law enforcement, and given defense 7,951 files. Keep in mind that the files are not pages. Think about page counts. Yikes. Shout out for sure. I didn't realize it was that many. Yeah, I would love to hear that. But you know what? As somebody said before, you can't refute her. So even if she were to deal with that, she would come up with another narrative just as sure as today is Thursday. Man, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you, Goose, for the very kind and very gracious support. Candace is no more Christian than going to McDonald's that makes you a hamburger. Thank you, Witch, for the $5. Trust me, she's not a hamburger, nor is she a Christian. I appreciate it. Thank you. And Captain Jax came back. The only evidence we have in this probable cause affidavit, the affidavit does not have enough information to cause anyone to believe there have been any shenanigans or Tyler Robinson is falsely accused. See, and yesterday, Paramount Tactical had, I think her name was Andrea Beckham, and she was speaking from a lawyer's position. Today, they're going to have experts on there from a ballistics position. Really, truly, I think the brakes need to be pumped by all the Cantifa. Just stop, and allow the adults to do what they're going to do. Because we're learning more. We're going to learn a lot more than what we think we know already. Shout out for sure. Slayer Princess with the 10. I'm praying for, looking forward to seeing Candace falling into obscurity. And I'm hoping on the 15th is the beginning of her being seen as a grifter and fraud she is. I'm going to say this right now. This week has been the preamble to Candace's grifting exposure. I'm going to say that this whole week. That's why it's been getting so ramped up every day. Tomorrow going to probably be crazy. She might beat up somebody. She'll grab one of her producers and just punch him in the throat because she's losing the argument. People are not siding with her. People are looking at Erica saying, I'm rocking with Erica. I stand with Erica. They're not rocking with Candace. And she doesn't like that. Shout out for sure. Natasha right here with the 8, New Zealand. I'm a Seventh-day Adventist. We're Christian. We keep the Sabbath, and it's literally one of God's commandments. I don't see any problem with keeping the Sabbath. There's none whatsoever. It's not a salvific issue, but I agree. I think a day of rest is necessary. I think we all can agree a day of rest is necessary, especially if you take a vacation. You know you appreciate that rest. Ruben says that she's trying to soften the blow that she knows is coming on Saturday, following on Monday. Erica hinting she has Charlie's, I think you mean phone, probably scared her. Also sent you some of the lies in email. Thank you so much, Ruben. I'm put them together in a few. Thank you so much, brother. What we got here? For the love of Jesus with the 2. Candace will be in future psychology tests. You know it. I mean, there's going to be classes written about her. There's going to be classes written because we're watching. If this is, what do y'all call it? Cluster B, is that what it's called? Cluster B narcissism? Whatever. If this is the narcissism that you all are talking about, they're going to be using this. They're going to be using these clips from this, whatever it's called. What scares me about all of this is all of her fans need to have hate in their hearts. I truly believe that Tyler Robinson and people like him would relate to Candace. And I agree with you, Cindy. Thank you for the 5. And you're right on the money. You're right on the nose. Cultured Redneck said this with the 5. She's just babbling with word salad today. She's on the ropes. She's going down. I appreciate it. What we got here? Thank you, Lady Williams with the 5. Thank you for these watch parties. I can't listen to Candace Owens anymore without your commentary breakups. Thank y'all. This is a lot of fun. Somebody asked me today, matter of fact, I was speaking to my pastor about it. And I said, I do this because the people enjoy having a place where they can have a conversation. We can yuck it up like that and so on and so forth and build a community that's not toxic, that, supports everybody. We even let the Cantifas come up here to the front of the church. He just bust out laughing about that. But so yeah, shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so much because y'all make it fun. Thank you so much again for the love of Jesus. Say it with me, Candace. Jesus. Isn't it funny that even when she talks about the Bible, she says it like it's a cuss word, man? Like there's no reverence, there's no appreciation, there's no respect for it. She says it like it's venom coming out of her mouth, man. It's crazy. Captain Jack says this. Thank you with the 20. My goodness. I have not and would never allow a family member or friend to work in homicide investigation along with me. They are too close and I have no idea what they are doing. The DA and the judge would remove me if I allowed it to go on. So are you saying that because, and Captain Jackson, if you all don't know, is a former law enforcement, worked as a detective. Would your family member be working with you? I think you mean a family member or friend of the victim. And that makes sense. Okay, I got you now. It took a second to process. Your boy running slow. Amy says this with the 5. Candace hates Erica. When Erica came out to speak, Candace goes crazy. Candace finding out Erica was behind the meeting that never was, made it worse. No doubt there. Oh, Erica's going to catch smoke. But the problem is, I do believe that Erica is not bothered by that. I do believe that Erica has transitioned past that. So this is going to be a very interesting back and forth little cat fight. But remember, for the most part, Erica has the support of, I think more people support Erica than support Candace. And so therefore, I don't think Candace is ever she's not going to be interviewed by Glenn Beck, by CBS, by Fox News or Good Morning Today. That's not going to happen. So she's going to stay in this low tier of obscurity. She's going to keep trying to thrash around and get attention, but eventually that's going to wear out as well, in my opinion. There we go, Rebecca. What do you say there with the 5? Where is George? He needs to get his wife because she's embarrassing herself. He chose Erica. Ha ha ha. Part of the problem, I think, is George is supposed to be like the producer of this show. He's responsible for getting the podcast out, like on the audio podcast and such of that nature. So he knows what's going on. So that leads me to one conclusion and one conclusion only. George is enjoying those checks and he's fully in agreement with her unhinged crash house that we're watching every day. And that's sad to see. I just can't imagine my wife behaving like this over a dead friend. That's crazy. MC Ray says, this is so gross. She became the yeast infection. You are insane. Thank you for the 5. And again, I will try to do your Google Doc. We need to help Erica if we can. I started by joining the Bible 360. Oh, hey, and buying Charlie's book. Okay, I got Charlie's book, Bible 365. What is that? Is that the Bible study she runs? That's a great way to do it as well. Buy Charlie's book, join Bible 365. I'm gonna make a community post about Candace's lies, and then that way we could all crowdsource them from there. I'll put them there. Did she say anything about hearing today? No, she didn't. Well, I'm sorry. She said that Tyler Robinson was there and he was a real human. She didn't talk about what was shared and the 3,000 witnesses and how they are worried about keeping them away from all of this. No, she didn't say anything about that because her goal is to get Tyler Robinson off. Thank you so much for the Google Doc can be destroyed by trolls. Yes, I'm sorry about that. That was a thought right off the top of my head. That's what happens. Thank you so much for that. That's what happens when when I come up with an idea. I try to get them done because if I think about it too long, I'll procrastinate. And that was crazy. I will be putting up a community post in a few moments. Matter of fact, let me just go and do that while I'm talking trash. Because that was a dumb idea. After I did it, I was like, wait, why am I getting all these messages? Because nobody could access it. I was like, oh, that was so dumb. All right. I'm going to put it up right now. All right. oddities and false rumors. All right, there we go. It's going to be real short. I just put the community post up. It is on my page right now. Let's start a running list of Candace Owens lies, oddities, and false rumors. Let's go. And there it is. It's posted. Y'all add it in there. And I added her, by the way, so she can add some too. All right, shout out to the real KC with the 5 says this. Erica told her to stop, and she says no and continues. What makes us think that George hasn't told her to stop when the same blatant disregard? The only thing is I think George has more access to her, and I can't imagine. Well, I can't imagine he would even tell her to stop, but I can't imagine her actually acquiescing, even if he did. But that's a great question, though. Me against the elites, Candace Wokins. That's hilarious. Thank you so much for the 2. Miss Etherin says this with the 5. An intelligent person would wait for actual solid evidence to be revealed. Everything else is speculation. Well, see, you actually disqualified Candace in your third word, in your first 3 words, an intelligent person. So you already disqualified Candace from the discussion. So I think most of us here are intelligent people, and that's what we're doing. We're waiting. Shout out for sure. Kathy, thank you with the 5. Have you ever noticed Candace doesn't play any of Charlie's videos on her show? Says a lot. I don't think I've ever seen that. They've always been clips of him. I don't know if I've seen never. I've seen clips of him like on her show when she was on a Daily Wire or PragerU. That's a good question. I don't think I've ever seen it. Interesting. Maybe she could show us how to make a sandwich. Thank you for the $2 there, Captain. It's funny. As much as she talks about Charlie, it's very little that she talks about Charlie that's not associated with her. If you notice that. I'm not saying it, but like literally all you talk about is you and Charlie. Not, let me show you what my friend was doing. That has nothing to do with you. Very little. I don't think I've ever seen her do that, actually, truth be told. Taking the jury pool goes both ways. Just shut up. Thank you, Phantom. I think we all just be quiet. Her husband is the elite. She is the elite. Thank you so much with the 2. All right. Forever blossoming with the 2. She's acting like Bernie, the oligarchy. Yes, that's exactly what that sounds like. Thank you. Sylvia's kid with the 5. Difference is we can see the fruits of the spirit. Candace and Allie are not the same. Candace is evil, right? Like they are not the same at all. There's no comparison whatsoever. Great catch. All right, what we got here? She doesn't like the Bible verse being used because she is the new vessel of the League of Demons. She's saying special pet now. Dang. Wow. Special pet? That's crazy. Thank you for the 5. That's hilarious. And welcome, Rogue. I appreciate you. Welcome as a new member. We appreciate we got some rogues up in here. We take them. Oh, Candace is so mad that a lot of influencers and prominent people are speaking out against her. I say continue. Thank you so much for the $5 super right there. And then what we have here, Sam, thank you for the 2. She hates Allie because darkness hates light. Like I don't know anybody who honestly has a serious critique about Allie Beth Stuckey. Now, does that mean not a preferential thing, but a true this person's doctrine is off, or she is something of that nature, not a preferential thing. I don't know, but everybody's got something to say about Candace, and they always try to, sort of kind of, but they have real problems with her. Shout out for sure. Thank you, Janice, right here with the 5. Did you know that George Farmer sold his business Parlor to Kanye? Also, he was a former chairman at TPU. Yes, I did know that. This is all news to me. No, I knew that he used to be the CEO of Parlor, and I knew that he was you said Parliament Music. Okay, Parliament Music to Kanye. And yes, he was a big donor at TPUK. That's why Candace wanted to get out there she had to go to UK, and that's when she met him. That story is definitely something that make you say, Something don't seem right. Thank you so much for the 2. She see previous posts. What did I see? What did I miss? Did I miss something? Lewis Life. I hope I didn't. I'm looking right here. I don't think I missed it. I hope I didn't miss it. Forgive me if I did. All right. Jocelyn with the 5. I have a theory that Candace subconsciously doesn't like strong blonde Christian women because Charlie married one. Okay. I could get with that. But what's her name? Alex? I think she has a problem with strong women, period, that are not manipulated by her. What's that woman's name? Alex Clark. She's a brunette. So there's something there though. I'm not trying to say, Jocelyn, that you don't need to pursue that, but I don't think it's only blind. I think it's women that are confident in who they are and they're not easily manipulated. That's what I think. Thank you so much over here, Amy, with the 10. When we moved to Wyoming from Mississippi in JH, my brother told people he helped Harriet Tubman in the Underground Railroad. A handful of tars believed him. That's what Candace and her cult reminds me of. Really? That's crazy. I hate that people believed it, but I can see it. Check your email. Candace only replied to Allie. Oh my gosh. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Candace is going to, if people were smart, when you find out what Candace gets upset about and torqued off about, you just keep hitting her with that same topic all over again till she just starts running around in a circle. Let me real quick. Hopefully it's, oh my gosh. I see it right here. Holy goodness. Oh my gosh. Man, this is so long. Good gracious, man. What is wrong with this woman? This is a long post. This violates all my rules about posts. Good gracious. Yo, that woman's messed up in the heart. She's messed up in the heart. Shout out for sure, Cynthia. I'm going to leave it right here, Sylvia's kid. Candace doesn't answer questions from her chat. She only reads blind praise from the most dedicated cult members. That's a great point. And because the show is recorded, the show is recorded because she never calls out people in real time because she could do that. For the love of Jesus with the 2, my theory is Candace knew Charlie would be deleted. Okay. She gonna have to prove otherwise. So I'm right there with you. What you got here? Clog with the 10. Tim cast today about Candy hates for Charlie seemed well thought out. I agree. All I want is I just want Tim to give some evidence. That's all. If you have a conversation or you can say, this person agrees with me. This is the person that told me. Because otherwise, I just don't want us to become like Candace where we just say something that seems very plausible, but we don't give evidence. That's the only problem. Goose, thank you so much. Just an FYI, that info came out today in the live hearing if you want to check it out. I have it. I just haven't had an opportunity. I've been out all day, but I do have it downloaded, I think. I think it downloaded. I did not download it. Okay. But I know where it is. I saw it, but I just haven't had an opportunity to watch it yet. It really wasn't that long. I just haven't had an opportunity. Also, Gary Hughes investigates this great video from a true crimes perspective. You might want to cover a timeline with video, pics, Google mapping, and the such. Wow. Okay. So now I need to check out Gary Hughes. Gray Hughes. I don't know who that is. I might need to see that. I'm going to check them out. Thank you so much for the 20, Goose, for sure. And what do we have here? Thank you, love. With the 5 says this, breaking news, Candace is joining Tyler Robinson's defense. I can't stand y'all. And the problem is that she'd be welcomed. She would be welcomed with open arms. What is going on? What's my email? dearwokec@gmail.com. I thought I put it in here it is right here. I thought I put it in your message that I sent you. Why is nobody talking about the fact that she was arrested in 2007 for harassment. Google it. No, I talked about it. And I don't know why people don't talk about that more, but I'm right there with you. I know what you mean. Thank you so much for that 5, by the way. And let's keep it going with the 2. George, Candace, bring him back to himself. So it is 2 Candace Owenses. George, Candace, CO, bring him back to himself. So it's 2 COs. I'm not certain I get that one. I'm not 100%. Did you know that Candace tried modeling and failed? More reason to hate Erica. I don't think I got that part. I don't think I did. I do have a fun video looking at a theory about Candace and her children and her maternal instincts. I'll probably drop that this evening. I have a class I'm doing at 8:30, so I got to keep it going, but I'll probably drop that this evening. Just jumping in for a second. Thank you so much, 16 Medic with the 10. But the court ruled today that Erica Kurt can be a victim representative. The defense did not object. Prosecution flatly said that this was a request of Erica's. Wow. That's going to be wild. That's going to be such a wild case. Thank you so much for the 10. I'm waiting to see how they're going to sue the college, though. Dana did a catty review of Erica's Fox interview. It was brutal. Made Candace look like a piece of paper in the bottom of your shoe. Dana Loesch did a catty review of Erica's Fox interview. So was she talking about Erica or was she talking about Candace? I'll have to check that out. I know I saw it, but I didn't. I haven't had opportunity for sure. Just FYI, the Parler app sale with Kanye West fell through and was sold to somebody else. Really? Okay. Well, thank you, Goose. I appreciate you with the 5 for sure. And then we go Grim Princess with the 20. I don't know if you're already aware, but Nick Fuentes says he will expose Candace Owens if TPUSA fails to go full gloves off on the 15th. Fruit by the foot. I did see that. All I want to do is I don't know what exposing Candace does. Most people who are not Cantifa don't need to be convinced that something's wrong with her. They don't need to, maybe they're not at the full extent, but they know something's wrong. And it's like, I don't know what's going on with the girl. Cantifa, I don't know if they'd be convinced at any point. I don't know what needs to convince them. So that's my only thing. I'm only concerned about that. But thank you. I do know about that. George has more power over Candace Owens than Erica because he can threaten paychecks as producers. Okay. I'm with that. And yeah, you're right with the 5. I don't think George wants her to stop though. I see no reason to believe that George wants her to stop. Amy says this with the 10. I'm a licensed therapist in mental health. And I've had a little bit of training in hypnotherapy. And I can't stop thinking about the fact that Candace uses hypnotic rhythm patterns at times. Really? Hey, Amy, I want to know. Oh, okay. I might need some more on this. You might have to help your boy out. I got more questions. Maybe I've been hypnotized. Oh my gosh. What if I've been hypnotized? Snap out of it, Jason. I need more information about that. That is very interesting. I've never heard that before. I've never heard that. Am I hypnotized? Maybe I don't remember that I heard it before. Oh my gosh, this is craziness. What do I do? What do I do if I've been hypnotized? Here, I'm gonna drop an air horn. That'll free me up, I think. Right? Punch myself. Like, how do you get out? How do you get unhypnotized? I want to know. So you might have to tell me some more about that. I might need some. That would be very interesting. That is extremely interesting. Okay, I can get with it. Everybody, thank y'all so much for putting up with me and my rambling. Man, we made it through. We made it through. That was. I don't know what to say. To watch a woman that vitriolic, that full of vileness and bile and venom for somebody she alleges was her friend, it's just, it is a thing to observe. It's a thing to see. Like, wow, you're that full of anger and hate and wickedness and evilness toward, and then at no point do you ever hear her acknowledge and admonish Erica Kurt is Charlie Kurt's wife. She always calls her a widow, a grieving widow. I think she said spouse, maybe, but you never hear her say like, hey, this is Charlie's wife. You never hear her talk about going to Charlie's wedding, because she never did. She didn't go to Charlie's wedding. Charlie came to her wedding, but I don't think Erica came. And I don't, as far as I know, Candace did not go to Charlie Kirk's wedding, but Charlie went to Candace's wedding, and he sat there with Brandon Tatum and Brandon Tatum's wife. But I don't believe it was the other way around. But it just seems interesting, and lots of things are just picking up. So as this story goes on, we'll do it again tomorrow, by the way. And tomorrow I have Green Beret Nap Time coming on at 9 o'clock. We're going to be talking about ballistics and debunking all of the military shenanigans. I can't wait to hear about this whole. I'm gonna have to find the whole. I'm gonna have to get the whole clip of her reading about that email about the guy that with the the drug tunnels and all that foolishness. I'm gonna have all that ready, but that'll be tomorrow. But I'm really interested to see how this weekend goes with the Erica Kurt and Barry Weiss interview going into TPUSA on Monday. She's gonna be on Twitter losing her mind. She's gonna be losing her mind, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Y'all, thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you all very kindly supporting the channel. Thank you, everybody who tapped in and hung out with us. We had almost 1,900 people, almost 2,000 people watching, which is crazy. Thank y'all so much. I'm glad that y'all have a good time, and I'm looking forward to doing this again with y'all, Lord willing. We'll do it tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow morning, I will be on A Righteous Perspective in the morning doing a panel discussion. And see, when I brought this up in the beginning, people got mad at me when I said that. When I said that early on, people got mad at me, and they didn't like my Marsha and Sally story. They did not like my story I told about that when I hypothesized that that's why Candace is so mad about this. And people got mad at me, and they said I was wrong for that. Now everybody's saying it. So I'm just, I was saying it before it was cool to say it. Okay. Let me just look at it real quick. Okay, couple quick things before I shut this down. Do me one quick favor, everybody. On your keyboard, there's a little, there's the letter A on your keyboard, and then next to the A is a button called Cap Locks, right? Do me a favor. Make sure that's not turned on, okay? Sometimes when things are all caps, and not saying that you don't capitalize a word in a sentence, right? That's not what I'm saying. But when you type in all caps, it does cause a little bit of consternation, and people tend from all different parts. And of course, my moderators, it just doesn't look right. It looks like you're yelling. People get all in their feelings, and it does. You'd be really surprised. I'm not trying to be petty, but just one little simple thing like putting everything in caps causes a lot of consternation. So if you don't mind, if you could just do me a favor, let's not use all caps. It just helps everybody. You know, now again, if you capitalize one word in there, Jason is a bonehead, just capitalize Jason and then put is a bonehead. And that's it. It just helps out a lot. And I really appreciate it. And there's Nikki, my winner for you won your book yesterday. You won the book yesterday. Oh my gosh. I'll tell y'all on Saturday, but I got a couple sponsors. I got a sponsor, and I'll tell y'all about the sponsor and what we're going to be doing. The sponsor might be helping us out a little bit. So I'll let you know more about that. When she talks, blah, 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 blah. Amy, I totally get you. Thank you so much for the $5 super. I don't know if Megan unfriended Shapiro. I gave up on Megan. She lost she lost all my respect. I don't know what, I gave up on her. And I'm like, whatever. But y'all, thank y'all so much. I am going to be doing a class tonight with some other content creators about setting goals, trying to set some goals for next year. So that's going to be fun. But everybody, thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Thank you so much to not only the super chats, but thank you so much to the new members. Thank you to everybody who subscribed. Everybody that hit that like button, like because it should be like, 2,000 people hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of the best live chat on the internet. Jump into the most electrifying comment section as well. Let us hear what you got going on. I'd love to hear that. I did put up the community post about Candace's stories, so y'all can jump in there, and that way nothing happens to it. I don't know what I was thinking. That's why I need prayer, man. Y'all need to pray for your boy. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, what a crazy idea that was, Jason. But y'all, thank y'all so much. I am going to go eat dinner and get ready for my class at 8:30. Everybody have a fantastic night. I'll see y'all in the morning on ARP. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon for shenanigans. I'll see you tomorrow night for our time with Green Beret nap time. We got a busy weekend, everybody. Have a fantastic night. Make sure you tip your waiters. Green hearts on the way out the door. Everybody, have a blessed night. Grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Witt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment, because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.